and the policies and the rest of it, as we know. And it's never going to happen.
Yep.
So we already know there's really no reason to be fearful, because you fuck slaves are never going to get it done. And that's why you transition to really manic, psychotic behavior, just poisoning everybody. Now they're like, we're just going to poison the water and the air and just kill everybody. Silent weapons, quiet wars. You're still not going to get that done, because the God of creation has other programs and plans going on here. Right? Somehow, some way, you're not going to get it done. Your pride and ego does not outrank the God of creation, the force. It's just not going to happen. You guys are kidding yourselves. And I'm like less and less fearful as time goes on. I'm just more and more purpose driven, more and more disciplined, more and more co-creative, managing my life and others and our affairs and what the fuck we're going to be doing, and surrendering the rest. Because I only have control of that. Right. And that's the art of living, is focus on what you can control, surrender the rest. Because you'll drive yourself crazy. You want to talk about something's got to break, something's got to give. If you're not living in purpose and discipline and co-creating, you're going to break from the inside out. Because you're living a bunch of insane people working for insane systems. So when you at some point become conscious and aware, you have to step out and go find something new, a new way to live, and a new community, in a sense. And that's why you have so many folks occupying two lives, living a schizophrenic life. They got their work friends, they got their bozo family, and then they got some place like this they come where they feel more accepted or more able to be authentic and genuine, or they feel more resonation with some care or some spirit, right? So when are you going to be a holistic being again, right? And trust your intuition, trust yourself. Trust that energy and that force. That's the key. That's what's going to lead everybody. They keep talking about coming together. It's already there. It's already in you, right? It's already driving everybody to live and be in a new way. It's already happening. So you follow that thread and you work into it, and the change happens. If you don't, then you have nobody to blame but yourself. I just did a lot of talking there. Penile powers here. Go ahead, Veerley.
No, I agree with all of it, and I'm. It's crazy how it's all synchronistic, and it kills me to have to allow the state to register my property. But until I can get it to where it's going to stay, I need to have it covered, because I can't risk, them taking everything that I have, literally. So when I went to the Department of Motor Vehicles today, it was almost like I don't know.
Hell?
It was hell. It was hell, but in the same aspect, they weren't able to register or do any of the registration or title the vehicle to me that day. And I'm grateful, honestly, because they gave me a temporary, and I'm almost thinking about just keeping the temporary until I get to where I'm going, so.
So basically you're trying to get the proper paperwork for the car?
Yeah, there's two names on it, so the other person needs to sign it, because in some states you only need one signature of the owner, and then Colorado is of course not like that. So while I'm on Colorado, I'm stuck dealing with their nonsense, and yeah, I'm gonna get out of here a little later than I had planned on, but everything's gonna work out perfectly, I think.
Daddy, Bria would like the link.
I already put it down there.
Oh, okay.
Penile power, are you going to say something, or are you just going to sit there in the usual creepy, awkward way?
My bad. Yeah, I wanted to bring up, you were talking about the whole TSA airport thing. I had a funny story, quote unquote funny, not funny. So yeah, I opted out of the scanner, and I said, yeah, is there any way, basically I can avoid going through the microwave, possibly the radiation device. I'm kind of in fear for medical reasons, and I may even have a medical condition that I think will interfere with it.
We got a terrorist here.
Yeah, basically. So they, they allow me without making much of a scene, other than asking me, why, like I want to do it, and looking at me side-eyed and stuff, wide-eyed, I should say, rather. And yeah, so I go through the side, and then they're checking my stuff or whatever, and they want to search me, and sure enough, the guy starts going in on my inner leg, and
Yeah, he wants to go in your rectum and in your
he kind of
genitals to make
he
sure
kind of
Al
looks up
Qaeda's
at me,
not in
right?
there.
He kind of looks up at me, and I'm like, I'm giving like the eye, and he seemed upset, like I was enjoying it. Should I not? I mean, should I not enjoy it? Am I not allowed to enjoy it?
No, that's the thing. It's a humiliation ritual. It's supposed to break your spirit and make you full of fear. So when that doesn't happen, it just kind of disappoints them, right? Why are you not like getting fearful and awkward, and uncomfortable? Why are you not getting spirit broken? That's what this is for, right? Maybe we got to go in this boy's rectum to really break his spirit. He's having too much fun with the front area. We got to
Luckily,
go in the back.
the green thing that was rolled up with green stuff in it. Luckily that I had forgotten was even on my persons, wasn't found. But anyway, so they made an example out of me. They take my black thermos, like one of those not cheap but not expensive companies that make the black steel thermoses, and they take it. They said you can't come through the check with it because I had a drink in it. I said, okay, we'll dump it out, or let me dump it out or whatever. But they said, oh, no, we just have to bring it through the scanner. They made it seem like they were going to give it back to me, basically, and then they took it. It was so ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, we just got to scan this. Oops. Yeah, we just.
But hey, I
poured
didn't
it
even buy it anyway. I found it at a fucking music festival, so if I remember correctly, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's all designed to fuck with you and break your spirit and just humiliate you and mock you.
Why didn't you just?
And to make sure that nobody after me, right, gets the idea. Oh, like this guy did it. Maybe I don't have to go through the microwave either.
This guy thinks he's gonna drink water on the plane. Not happening.
Why didn't you just tell me you had a plate in your head?
All right, go ahead,
Anyway.
slaves. I should just join
That's
TSA,
my
and then I could have just endless content. Oh my God, you have no idea how dark I am. And maybe you do. That's why many folks unsubscribe. I have this dark streak in me where I want to go join TSA and just do content because you all love it. And I just go, let's go, slaves, belts and shoes off in the box, hands up against the wall. I don't want to hear anything. It's like Scared Straight, except I become a fascist for like a month or so. They're going to fire me. Like we already know when I do this dirty job segment, they're going to fire me. They're going to let me go because I'm going to act out and go. I'm going to take it a little too far, like for comedic purposes. So they're going to get rid of me. But it would be fun, right, along the way.
Oh
just
my
to
God.
see how much the slaves would enjoy getting beaten and whipped and humiliated and mocked and have their rights taken.
I really want to see how far you could get with it.
Yeah. I got to thank Leslie. Leslie, you're a peach. Auntie Leslie. They're now speculating that she's my aunt. And of course she is. She's Auntie Leslie. You guys are quick. A lot of super sleuths out here. Very clever. So I have to thank her for her contribution and gift, investment in a one Paul Enslaved. And that's good pimping, right? When women decide that you're better off with their value to manage it than they are, that's like 101. They recognize greatness. So that's a good thing for me, not for many other beta males out here who their women take like 50% or more of whatever it is that they create and then just kind of squander it, laugh at them. Ha ha ha. And I gave 20 baseless fiat currency notes to Paul Enslaved this week, you beta male coward. Because he deserves it and you don't. And I'm not fucking you this week. Right? And then they go pick the dog up, the little poodle up, and go, you're so cute, I love you. It's great. If you're into that. See, if you're into more mockery and humiliation rituals, these relationships, monogamous relationships, are fucking great to observe. Just the breaking of spirits. Your thoughts, Charlie Chapchan? I see that you've appeared now. He's going to do this again today. Okay.
I wanted to add to Sean real quick was about the TSA, and whenever you appeared to have enjoyed it, and he was like looked offset, it's like probably his consciousness going, man, I'm really doing some fucked up shit, you know? And there's probably very rare times where someone has enough, enough balls to actually, play with the TSA agent. Or maybe you did
Seriously?
really enjoy it. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
But
I always
maybe
say, like,
like
that's
they're
the best action I've gotten
Yeah, they're
in,
so afraid, like
months.
Jesse Howe, when he came back with his little bucket hat and flag from
Yeah.
Jamaica and
Yeah.
renamed himself. They're so afraid if they like speak up for themselves and stand for truth that they're going to miss their vacation with Angeline. And then Angeline's not going to like love them as much. I don't give a fuck. And furthermore, if the woman next to me is not riding on that kind of energy and time, I don't even want her next to me. What is this? But this is why I say what I say, because you guys come on here, you talk that shit, you talk about ascension and all the rest of it, and you're just another number in the line getting bitched up and humiliated and mocked. And the only reason, not only because you're a coward, but the main reason that you won't step out of fucking line is because you got some beta bitch with you who loves you. And it's inappropriate for you to act like a fucking man. Okay? And every time you get in my face, you rebuke me and reject a masculine energy or presentment because that's how you live. And that's why I don't listen to you. And many folks don't listen to you because we're not buying it. Right? When the time comes, you will not be there. You'll be with your beta bitch cuddled up at home in your matching flannels. You know how many of you embarrassing males I saw this year when I went to the store in matching flannels? And then you give me the eye because I'm looking at you. You think I can't read you? They all give me the eye, right? Don't say nothing. Don't take it there. You already took it there. You're walking around town with matching outfit with gingerbreads on it with your goofy beta bitch. She's got you so broken and you're a fucking embarrassment. And when I give you the look like, really, bro, you give me the look back like, don't take it there. You know what this is. Yeah, I know what this is. And it's not cute. Okay. And Jennifer says the same thing. What's with all these beta bitches around here wearing matching outfits? This shit is embarrassing. You want to vomit. And they're not even into it. You look in their eyes and you can tell they're just doing it to appease this broad. And that's even worse. If you were really into it, I'd be like, okay, you guys are frolicking. You're like really into it. You become just as much of a woman as she has and you all like that together. Great. But he's not even into it. You could tell by looking in their eyes. It's the window to the soul. Just like every one of them that's online to get flowers at Valentine's Day and a box of candy. They got that soul broken look in their eyes, just fulfilling their obligation, trying to appease somebody. Because their relationship is not built on any foundational principles or any real purpose or meaning. It's just a bunch of consumption, a bunch of manufactured spirit. There's no real soul in any of these fucking interactions or these communities. Your thoughts, Snafu Creature?
Yeah, I saw a bunch of fucking dumbasses in your chat acting like they're mules. The minute you guys started talking about TSA, they're like, oh my God, I had a doobie in my pocket and fucking, oh my God. It's like these motherfuckers acting like they mules over some little weed when motherfuckers are bringing pounds of heroin through the airports, you dumb fucks.
Dude, so
Quit acting like you're mules.
I forgot the best part that story is how before I got on the plane, we're waiting. I'm with the ladies, with the fam, and there's this dude. He clearly is fucking. His phone is like pointed up at me, and this dude looks like straight up Marine.
It's not matching sportswear. Hold on, Penal Power, and don't tell me about looking inwards. You come up on the panel and have an interaction with me before you start giving me guru advice, okay? As if I don't do inward looking, as if I'm not an introspective being, right? I wasn't talking about matching sportswear, although that's douchey enough, right? I'm talking about the holiday matching flannel, one piece, onesie outfit, okay? That everybody's now on social media taking pictures with. Don't tell me if that makes me put off that I should look inward. No, you folks are pathetic embarrassments. And I'm not even talking about the women doing it, right? I'm talking about the men and the look in their eye when they're out with the matching onesie, like Moose Creature, who comes on here and then talks down on his life and his wife. Because y'all do it. Every one of you beta males and beta girls, when your partner's back is turned, you embarrass them and shit on them because you don't respect them. And the reason you don't respect them is because Moosey Boy will put on a onesie and spread his cheeks with the little fucking square in the back. with the buttons. He'll put on the onesie with the square in the back and open it and spread his cheeks for whatever that goofy bitch says. That's why she don't respect you. The reason they respect me, whether they don't like me or not and rebuke me or not, because I ain't going to put the flannel onesie on to take pictures with you for MySpace. You want to take pictures for MySpace? They're going to be different type of pictures, right? And then the conversation's going to go quiet. It's going to change. Or you're going to be into it. You know,
I know why
Vera might be into it. She'll take some pictures for MySpace. They're not going to be with me with a matching onesie on with her. She's not into it. Right?
I
If
wonder
we're
what
going to do
Tom's up
video
to,
and
man.
pictures, going to be us fucking like animals. Excuse me. It's a family broadcast. It's not going to be your daddy in a matching onesie with everyone with a broken eyes and spirit, like domesticated animal slaves. Right? That's the other side of domesticated animal slaves. You know, all being herded with their herd immunity into matching onesies and flannels and estrogen mimickers, coming on here with cock necks, going to the gym to get a six-pack, but won't stand for a motherfucking thing with it. Beta boys, just like 3/4 of these crypto clowns. They all just come out of the woodwork with the perfect hair, and they're all built up because they go to the gym 5 days a week, and they cock their neck, and there's no bass in their voice, and they're all overtly effeminate. But everything's just right in place, right? The inauthentic corporate male, as I like to say. And if you get in the room with Paulie Boy, oh, he's smoking reefer. They're like Felix Unger. They start chasing me with a fucking a spray, right? Their nose starts acting up because he's smoking. You know, this is where we're at. I had some slave meet me the other day and went back and talked shit like they always do behind my back. Oh, they smell like so much reefer. They must be drug dealers. I go, no, you must be a bitch ass motherfucker. I go, because from the beginning of time, men smelled like oils, essential oils, and smoke because they tend to smoke, right? You go back to like the Western days, all the men smelled like leather and smoke. But you bitch ass motherfuckers nowadays, you won't pipe up to me in my face. You won't say nothing, won't do nothing with me. That's any kind of meaning or purpose. But then you go pillow talking and gossiping about what you felt. Like I give a fuck. Go ahead, snafu creature.
I was just thinking about when you were talking about Jesse. We'd already know that bitch is using him for money. Look at her. And you could just tell that bitch is using Jesse for money. And Jesse, you're a fucking simp.
How do you know that? How do you know? How do you know that? How do you know he has the money? How do you even know this?
Well, you know, all the vacationing and her and their fucking shit, and you know, just the optics, you know. But buying that goofy ass tourist shit while some fucking dudes that want to rob him are washing his car, talking shit at Mexican about him, while he's like, yeah, they're cleaning it really good. Jesse, you're a fucking fool. You're a simp. That bitch would suck my dick over your dick. Put me in a room with her watch. Guaranteed.
I highly doubt that.
I guarantee it over Jesse's big ass.
I'm not saying she wouldn't entertain someone else. I'm just saying probably not you.
Oh, I put money on it. She likes money. That's all you got to do. Put money on it, bro.
Nah.
That's how these women are nowadays.
They know where their power and their worth is at. If they're going to get you, they're going to get you for 10, 20 years or a lifetime. You know, they're not just going to go for a night. You know, these are high class hoes. You know, they want the rest of their life paid for. They're not just looking for a few hundred or a few thousand for the night.
And you could tell, Angeline is like a Jeffrey type chick. It's just a guaranteed. Like the optics are there.
Listen, I spoke on this, and a few days later, I didn't speak on it like you are. I just said I get an energy from her. I'm not trying to be whatever about it, disrespectful. Because again, you cannot fail. You cannot risk not offending folks if you're going to go with discernment and reading. It's like whether you believe in it or not. If you go to those people who say they can read you and somehow see by talking to you what your future is going to be, they have to risk offending you. You know. So I spoke on it, and then 3 days later, she said she was raped when she was young, right? And then everyone went, "Oh," and I go, "Okay, we can work with the trauma. I don't need to it out. We don't need to do the victim enabling thing."
Right, and she did that on purpose. She said that to the audience on purpose.
Listen. I'm not interested in what everybody's doing with their calculations and strategy and cleverness, because it all comes out in the wash, bro. I'm a long game person. I'm just
She got
saying,
raped, but she's raping Jesse for her
I'm
fucking.
gonna throw you the fuck out of here if you keep cutting me the fuck off. Do you know how obnoxious that is? I don't care if I talk a lot, right? And now he's got to run off. See, this is what I mean, that broken hoe shit. I want to have the back and forth with you. I think you bring controversy here sometimes that I can build off of and bring it back home to a truth I've experienced. But you can't fucking get it together. And it's a shame. It's a shame how many folks could be a counter puncher with me, but can't fucking get it together. See, these are guys who, you know, you have to kind of backslap them every once in a while. Not that I'm that guy. I usually have a large African-American with me who takes care of that. I'm a very loving, caring man. I don't like putting hands on people or having hands put on me. There's other folks, though, who like that shit. Okay? And it seems to work sometimes because you do like 2 years with somebody where they just can't fucking get their act together. And then in one moment they go, okay, now I get it. You know, maybe I'm like Tommy says, I'm living in a mob movie now, where once somebody gets hit over the head with a gun or backslap, they just start to get it real quick. They go, okay, everything else was good except for that. I just stopped doing that. We won't have this problem. Great. It's a shame that we just can't, through like fucking conversation and self-exploration and exploration with each other, come to an understanding. You know, especially when some of us communicate all of our wants and needs, pretty much. You know, and I can say now that Slow State is here because he forces me to pause and be ultra reflective and genuine. That's why I like having him here. It's a good tool.
Salute.
I can say he's saluting. I can say that that's varied at times. You know, that I can blow in the wind at times. You know, I have my moods and my modes. But you know it when you're there, right? You pretty much know. It's like Slave Cot, right? You know when to like tap dance around his triggers and his insecure ego. Just do it with me a little bit, right? Just treat me the way Slave Cot would want to be treated. I am an egoic narcissist. Your thoughts? Slow State, Penile Power, Charlie Chapchin?
Was that at me or just broadly?
That's just it. It's kind of like reflecting upon what I've seen with you, but also broadly. So it's a little bit of this and that. I like to try to do the whole, you know, micro, macro tie-in thing as much as possible.
I like the idea of you being one of them TSA officers.
Why not?
I'd love to see that. I can see it already. Got 30 passengers on a small private flight to Newark, New Jersey. 30 of them standing there, and before anything gets started, they're ready to board, and they don't even get to the metal detector pulses. All right, got his billy club in hand. Line up, everybody, you bitch-ass motherfuckers.
Wizard.
You can move me out of the ghetto down here. Swap me in penile power places. I don't want to be by these two.
Okay.
Hey, why don't you tell us how Paul's still buying subs, Flo, like you told us the other day on your channel? Again.
Did you say that? Come on now, Taylor. Taylor.
Absolutely. I'll pull the content up. Don't lie to him.
Gosh darn
got
it. I wanted to believe that we got someone.
Snafu, don't tell me to do something I'm about to do.
Why would I buy?
Yeah, I do. Because
look, you doubled down on it, Flo.
And you won't accept it that I'm helping you.
How are you helping?
I'm trying to help you less narcissistic and worldly and foolish, thinking you're clever. Right? You're very nihilistic and you're confused. And I'm trying to reveal to you, I would not do that. I know there's other
Andy
folks.
supports pedos. Let's just get it out there.
Interrupting me, I'm going to throw you out, and you're not going to get to have your little flow state interaction that I know you want so badly.
I'm not having an interaction with him.
Why would I? It's not even about why would I. I'm telling you I wouldn't, because it's foolish. There's no point in buying subscribers that are not going to show up, and you put your channel at risk of being taken down. I already have enough problems and drama.
The real question is, why did the topic get brought up in the first place on my channel?
Because you've made it a haven, like many other places, to shit on me. You're known now as a person who will shit on me and take a whole bunch of haters over there and speculate on my life and the last shit I took.
It got brought up
like
because
Jack House,
earlier
another
the
thing.
very same day, you wanted to bring up a different thing, a different belief of my own, and go over it again. So that night in my chat, after last time I was up here, people had
Wrong.
questions.
You're lying, Flo, to Paul. You're lying to Daddy.
I'm not talking to
You guys
you.
had your little cupcake session, and then you went live and immediately started talking about how, oh, well, he does get paid. He's lying about that. His subs are fucking blah, blah. No, you were fucking cupcaking with the Pfizer advocate and all the fucktard cupcakes. You're lying out of your ass, dude. You literally cupcake with Paul.
He
I
called
thought
me.
things
He
were
called me
cool,
a
and then you
liar
went
for
shit on him.
Leslie. He called me a liar for Leslie, and Auntie Leslie hit me with another 7.
I have opinions. If you don't like it, don't ask about it.
Flo also calls me a liar when I point out these Cheetos, and he fucking likes to defend them.
Can we lose this, dude?
I just don't understand why you would choose to hate publicly and make yourself look so foolish and project.
Well, why would you
that
choose to ask a question publicly that you know is probably not going to be the answer you want? Would you rather me
no
tell you the
answer. Again,
truth?
you presume that I want an answer. I'm allowing you to be who and what you are and then commenting on what you show. You presume that I want something from you. You're projecting.
Which would you prefer, a truthful response or a pleasant response?
I would say Flo wants something from you, Daddy. That's
He's addressing
the
me,
optics I
Snapper Creature. I know that he wants something from me. That's my point. Everything he projects onto me just shows that's who and what he is subconsciously, and aligns completely with his behavior.
What about the things that Snafu projects? Does that mean that he really is the things that
we've gone over it again? You're
that everyone sees.
Snaptard. You're not better at this than I am. Neither is Slow State. Not only life, but paneling and conversation and pretty much everything. So we've gone over Snaptard and his psychology. That's not what we're doing here right now. You're deflecting, right? Which you like to do oftentimes. You never address who and what you are and what you're up to, and you like to deflect onto everyone else.
Well, I have to deflect until he's gone so that we can have a conversation. And he's back now.
I'm just gonna finish my story because it's nothing here.
No, go ahead and have a conversation with him. I yield. I'll be quiet. See, you don't even know what you're saying, Flo. You keep deflecting from his question.
The end of my TSA story, right? This fucking jacked, mighty, like looking Marine dude is
okay. We don't care about the TSA story. I'm gonna break it to you.
No, come on. And then he's on the plane, and they place him next to me on the plane, and I'm like, at first I thought I'm being like gang stalked or whatever, but then I realized, okay, they put a Marine on every fucking on every plane, right?
The fuck does this have to do with anything, Peniel?
All right, Paul. The last time you went on a plane, what happened? Let me ask you that. What happened last time you went on a plane?
Yeah, we're off.
They fucking rectum searched me and found some fucking hijabi shit.
Did you get kicked? I forget the story.
Yeah. Okay. Thrown out. They tried to give me a huge bill, and then they brought it from 15,000 down to 500, and still got nothing.
Okay, what about the time before that? Let's say then. Or did you not?
I don't remember. I kind of take it like the last thing. Like whatever the last thing is, I kind of remember that. Whatever's before that, I make a habit of just kind of letting that go.
I'm guessing you're like me. You've only been on a plane a handful or two of times.
No, you're guessing wrong. I'm not like you
Flo,
in any way.
You look
I've been all over the world. Shut up, warthog creature. You're going to make me ban you. I'm not going to bring you back here for at least a week or two to really teach you a fucking lesson. Because you won't shut up.
And he's gay.
Another projection. But okay, I'll accept it.
I'm just saying, don't you see him twitching out like a tweaker right now? Like the optics, don't you see it?
Okay, we see the optics. He's got tweaker optics like Tommy. But at least he's able to somewhat fit in or mix in, which can't be said for you. See, even with tweaker optics, he's somehow more relatable than you. You got to look at that.
I guess. I just was surprised when we was shitting on Daddy. Like, I thought you guys were all cupcakey cool, and then he went live.
Flow State is jealous and envious and hating, and he's got some ego thing he's working through, and we're going to help work him through it at some point. If you think it's going to go away overnight, it's probably not going to happen. He's going to have to see more, right? Once he really realizes, like many, that I am the god of all media and that I occupy a certain status in this realm, and that there's certain power and value to be had by co-creating with me, he will cease the nonsense, if for no other reason, for selfish interests, I suspect.
No, that's true. I remember when he was shitting on Jackie and some other people. So, Flo, you'll learn your lesson soon.
I'm not going to take the shitty bait.
I don't think he was shitting on me.
I could re-pull up what he had to say to Granny Panties about you, Jackie. I don't think you'll like it.
I definitely wasn't kidding.
I don't watch the Granny
you're just-
Panties, so.
Yeah, Snafu just likes to stir the pot. He hates.
No. What did? No. You remember what
No,
Jackie?
no.
Thing you were on. Now you're gonna deny it?
We're just trying to
And Jackie, I
co-create
gave
here,
you the
and
clip. You
you're
already know
doing
we
your
got
thing,
one
your
minute, and
artistic
you, 'cause I
thing.
told you I didn't want to send you half the shit because it's so bad. He was cupcake with the Granny Panty. He knows what he did.
Right.
What'd you say about me, Flo?
I didn't say anything about you. I played the
Okay.
video. I assume that's what he's referring to.
I don't know.
Go get it, Snafu.
I could take it.
Sure.
I
It
don't
was when
think
you were
I don't
talking
think
shit about
anything
how
else.
she fucking has no
I don't think it was
self-esteem and
anything-
Paul is
I
her
don't think
daddy.
Yeah.
And fucking, you were shitting on Paul, but using Jackie.
You should
well,
go
that's
find
different.
that.
And the whole sex thing with Jackie,
Okay,
how
we're
she wanted
going
to
I'm
way
rape
calling
back
you
in
on it. I call the
history.
bluff. I call the bluff. Go, oh, fucking hey, woo. I almost
Unless
lost it.
this happened again recently, we're going back in history now. We're going back to like Tommy lore. You know,
That's true.
anything, yeah, anything
season
past
one?
like even the last few days is just kind of like let it go. And you're now going back months ago to what we've already addressed. That again, Slow State wound up looking foolish because he made a whole bunch of claims and used Jackie as an example. And it just none of it was real and true. It was all part of his distorted projection and
I
delusion.
would like to call the bluff, though, and request that Snafu go find the clip he's talking about.
He's talking about the one where you're saying that you're a ladies' man and I'm creepy. And
Oh, that wasn't
here's the
talking shit on
video.
her. That was talking shit on you.
Right, but you were using Jackie to say, look how creeped out she looks. She's obviously not into him, and he's, you know,
That is true.
embarrassed.
That's not what I'm talking about either, but we'll yield. It's in the past. You were talking shit.
Okay, but he's
Oh,
doing
yeah,
it
it's
again
in the
now.
past. Yeah, it's
You're
in the
doing it
past.
again now. Why are you, like, Jackie, first of all, why are you putting women in a position of having to, like, jump out the window? But she's already done it and said that she has some level of attraction to me and that she thinks you're creepy. So do you find it at all, like, comedic or ironic that you were saying that I was embarrassing and creepy and that the woman you used an example said you're that is you, like Jack says, and it's not the case with me?
I was just pointing out the body language.
Right, you're pointing out the body language from a lack of
was
discernment and knowledge
sarcasm.
itself.
It was sarcasm.
It's
Well,
because
then I
she's
misinterpreted
uncomfortable
it.
on air.
Yeah, you
just
did.
because she's uncomfortable on air does not mean you know what she thinks or feels as a woman.
I didn't
Many
say
women
I didn't claim to.
show something different than what they actually think and feel. That's another reason you're not a ladies' man. You're a ladylike man who gossips and projects.
Still dwelling on it.
It's
Oh, why
not
you wearing
dwelling
makeup?
on it,
I'm not
it's
going to
that
take
you
it
show the same
down, and I'm
level
not
of
going to retract
accountability
it.
your father does and Jack
Saw what I
Talcott
saw.
does.
I gave my opinion on it.
Show you
It's not the same as your opinion.
and you'll never cop to it and say you're a bozo and you were wrong.
Well,
Cut the
I would
bullshit.
absolutely expect you to tell me that I'm wrong, whether or not I'm wrong.
Right, but you would absolutely never say you're wrong, even when all the evidence continues to mount against you, because you're that
I have.
egoic, arrogant, foolish.
No,
and
I've done that.
narcissistic. The same
I did
thing
that with
projects onto
Hitler
me.
Stash. I did it with Hitler Stash. I made a video where I accused him of having threesome. There's reasonable doubt about whether or not he was referring to his dog, so I removed the video.
Again, you're
Isn't that right?
deflecting. You're deflecting, ladylike
No,
man.
I'm responding to your claim that I would never.
I was responding to my claim, and what you said about me have anything to do with Wizard.
Because you said I would never admit when I'm wrong, and I'm just giving you an example of when I admitted I was wrong.
What does that have to do with me? When it comes
It has to do
me,
with me. You're making
when it
claims about
comes
me.
to
I'm telling
me-
you, here's an example of
I'll
when you're
clarify
wrong.
for you. When it comes to me, you're very reticent to admit that you're wrong or been mistaken because I like twist your ego up.
I haven't had any good proof. I haven't had any good reason to think I'm wrong, except for you denying it, which I would expect either way.
We just told you where you were completely off the mark and wrong, and you doubled down on it and said, I was just saying what my discernment was, instead of saying, I'm a fool and regularly can't read myself in the room and get things wrong and embarrass myself with projections.
You really want me to say that I think you're lying again, don't you?
Yeah, again, it's not about what I want and don't want. You're going to do what you do, and I'm going to observe and report, and then we're all going to get a lesson on conscious and awareness one way or the other. That's what goes on. You still don't realize that?
Yeah. Do whatever. I have my channel. I make my videos with my observations. You do the same. And the audience will make up their own minds, I assume.
Right. And there's nowhere in there like an actual truth objectively that can be discerned.
When it comes to how other people are thinking or feeling, there is no objective truth as far as an outside observer can say. We can't calibrate it. So it's all speculation.
And see, that's the thing. That's where you fall short. You presume that some things can't be known. And I contend that some things can be known without complete proof.
So how do I know that you're telling the truth now?
I guess you can never know completely, right? If you're going to do the whole 100% thing, but everything is trust and equity. So everything is gambling in a sense. How do you know that woman you're with is only fucking with you? You don't.
She's earned trust over a decade. You have not earned it for not a second.
Okay. So you have no reason why I'm not trustworthy or honorable and why you don't believe anything I say other than your projection. But I have to earn my way back.
I have lots of reasons. I have lots of reasons. I choose not to go through all of them.
The main reason is you're insecure and lacking in confidence in yourself and your life, and you're constantly projecting it onto others and making them work backwards.
No, the reason is that you're manipulative, and not even subtly so. You're blatantly manipulative, and you try to strong arm people.
How am I manipulating? Give me an example.
The struggle sessions that you try to do every time. You try to bully people into agreeing with you.
I'm calling you out for what you've done and said in the past.
And I'm telling you that I'm gonna say the truth as I believe it is. I'm not gonna change my mind.
Okay,
I don't think I was wrong.
Let's be honest, right? Since I'm a manipulator, what is your purpose in being here all of a sudden lately?
Just trying to show up and co-create more. You said a few times that I don't ever come over here.
Do you think I believe you? Since you don't believe me and there's no trust your way.
You don't have to believe me.
How
I don't
am
care if you believe me.
And trust
it is not important if you believe me or not.
It's not important. Okay, so it's important if you believe me, but not important if I believe you.
To each of us, our own opinion is the only important one. Apparently to you, mine is also.
That's the thing. You're a narcissist freak and you keep projecting it onto everyone else who and what you are. See, you just admitted indirectly only your opinion in every interaction with you and others matters to you. And that's your problem.
But I acknowledge that you have an opinion of your own. You're not even acknowledging that anybody else has an opinion that might be valid.
So why would someone who continually calls me a liar in projection think that I would accept any of their claims of why they're here all of a sudden just to co-create more with me? Why would you want to co-create more with someone who's a liar?
I gave you an answer. You can take it or leave it.
Why would you want to come to a place and co-create more with someone who you say is a liar and untrustworthy? That's kind of bizarre.
I suppose my own
answer that one, huh? Think of a good piece of bullshit to throw back at me for the people to like judge.
My own entertainment, honestly. I was eating lunch. I saw you were on. I figured I'd stop in.
To the next level of how you just lied. So you're not really here to co-create authentically with me more because you don't trust me. You're really here just to entertain yourself.
I don't trust you now. But like I said, trust, and like you know already, everybody knows, trust is earned and built over time. We don't have that.
Right, but you have no reason.
Could. Maybe we could.
No, you're not listening. You're not listening, narcissistic manipulator who projects I'm manipulating. You may not trust me completely because we don't have a foundation built on that, but you have no reason to distrust everything I've said and done. See, that's your trauma. That's your
I
insecurity.
don't distrust
That's your
everything you said.
perfectionism. So it's one thing to not trust somebody completely. It's another thing to distrust somebody completely and say that everything they're saying and doing is a lie and a manipulation.
I never said that. That's a lie and manipulation.
Well, you
I
have
never
at least five. You have at least like 4 or 5 things that you say I'm directly lying about, even though I've shown proof and there's tons of proof and evidence. You err on the side of distrusting completely rather than actually having a open air ability to build trust. How could we build trust if you go other places and tell me I'm lying directly to everybody and I'm a manipulator? How could we build trust when you've already put a wall up in your insecurity, lack of confidence, and results?
I don't know if we can build trust. If you insist on having trust given completely straight out the gate, then there is no opportunity to build
I'm
trust.
saying that if you were authentically, instead of entertaining yourself with your morbid fascination for me checking your ego and us doing chaos and controversy, if you would actually authentically co-create, then you would stop distrusting. You don't have to trust to stop distrusting and projecting that I'm lying and manipulating. Maybe I'm telling the truth and it's an affront to your ego.
Maybe. I don't know why you would think that.
Because there's no reason for you to say that folks wouldn't gift me or contribute. That's a projection from your lack of self-worth and self-value that you've made a part of my experience. And you double down on it by saying that not only did I not have the experience, but I'm lying about it to make myself look a certain way. Another thing you do.
So what is it about me believing you that is so important to you?
It's not about believing you. See, you're so simple-minded.
It's a prerequisite. It's become a prerequisite.
You're so simple-minded, but have so many complicated beliefs about yourself and the world that you can't even understand a simple concept like you don't have to believe me to stop actively disbelieving me and saying I'm lying.
You recognize that the only reason any of this is brought up at all is because you keep looping.
There's a neutral space.
You keep looping. Okay, I will stop actively disbelieving you. You stop asking me about it, and we'll move forward. I never bring it up. If people ask me my opinion, I give it.
Well, I mean, obviously the creature, among others, tells me from time to time because they're watching you. I don't watch you.
Okay.
But they're telling me that you're actively bringing things up from time to time. And
so did you go and see if the creature was lying or not?
No, because when I ask you directly, you confirm the creature's suspicions.
Why would you?
So funny about it.
Why would you believe the creature? He's the least credible person on the metaverse.
I asked you just yesterday, am I lying about XYZ? You said, yes. I don't believe you're being truthful. So what do I need to listen to the creature to know that if you're holding that belief still, you've probably been spewing it wherever hole you've been in.
Probably. You probably have been.
With the rest of the beta males and females, right? It's a good chance.
You're speculating, and I'm telling you, the only time I ever talk about that shit is when I'm asked about it. And the only time anybody asks about it outside of you is right after you ask about it. Okay. People are like, I saw you on Paul's. I was asking you a question, blah, blah, blah.
So you're still blaming me for your lack of accountability.
I'm blaming you for the loop.
So because it's only brought up certain times and you only call me a liar manipulator at those times, you shouldn't have to be accountable for you projecting. See, this is like the game of a narcissist, is they will bullshit themselves and everyone else in circles to deflect away from the accountability of their trauma and projection and wall.
Correct. That is the game of a narcissist.
Right.
But I mean, the options are simple. We can keep looping on it. You can keep asking me about it, and my opinion won't change. Or we can just stop talking about it. And my opinion, if it changes, will change organically over time.
Okay. So if you already said and lied to me like at least once today that we found out,
you're choosing the loop option. We don't want to.
No, there's no we, right? There's you and then there's I. So you already said you came here to co-create, and then upon reflection said you really just came here to entertain yourself. So If you're not here to co-create authentically and to build trust or an understanding with me, or to entertain others, right? You're purely here for your own narcissistic, self-indulgent interest.
I obviously recognize that there was a good chance that when I showed up here, we would just end up looping and not co-creating. I chose to do it anyways, yeah, for my own amusement.
Okay. So I'm not really sure, like, how to interpret that.
Well, you can interpret it as, well, it's like this. I'm not, there's nothing in me that's opposed to co-creating, definitely open to it. However, I knew before I clicked the link, there's a damn good chance we wouldn't co-create at all because we would get stuck in this loop. I decided that either option was still worth seeing out.
Right. So again, there's cause and effect here. The loop is going to probably continue at some points, like it does in everyone's life, because there's an unaddressed cause and effect that gives rise to that loop. So just like with you and your father and me and my father and all the rest of the things we've talked about, the loop will continue either subconsciously or consciously. And then it will be made conscious at certain points until it's rectified, till we break the loop. And again,
If you decide that's how it's going to be, then that's how it's going to be.
Well, that's how life works, see? I'm explaining to you how life works. You can't just put shit under the rug, dust it aside, and deflect and play the ignorance, arrogance game. When some shit comes up, you got to address it, find out where the wrong is, where the inconsistency, and you got to rewrite it and rectify it. If not, it will show its head and rear itself again at some point. That's the nature of
consciousness. And what I'm telling you is what you're requesting right now is not on the table right now.
I don't say that. I'm not trying to force you into a this or that in this moment, or at all. I'm simply saying that we have to be clear about what the individual's intentions are and what the expectations are of results with a lack or an awareness of self and how life works. Can you stop flashing back there, creature? It's very obnoxious. Add it to the list of your obnoxious behaviors. I'm in the middle of speaking and you're flashing back there like there's a fucking air raid going on. Can you fucking take a breath and relax? Go ahead, Snafu creature.
I mean, I'm about to get back to the job anyway. I'm about to get back to the job anyway. He's gonna ensure that I'm out of here quicker. I've only got a few minutes left.
I really don't care if you never return again. If you want me to be completely honest, like I'm open, like you say, to co-creating. I may see potential with you like I do with everyone. Whether or not we could work into that remains to be seen. If you think you're going to pull this thing you do everywhere where we're not going to get access to you, it's no consequence to me, right? You get more benefit out of being here than I do you being here. You know?
What? Oh, you think so?
I absolutely think so.
Well, there's no way of knowing that for sure. I would think maybe not. I would actually think probably not. But there's no way either of us could know that. So
it's pretty clear. You want more energy, conversation, attention, and promotion for your broadcast. You're going to get that here with me,
and you need more content for yours.
I really don't. If you haven't noticed, I've done 500 days straight, and I've never been short a conversation or quote unquote content. I've never been sitting around going, "Oh my God, what am I going to do or talk about next?" I've never sat around and said, "Oh my God, I wish I had better and worse streams, Tommy and the rest to really spice up the broadcast."
You've had your lame streams, just like everybody else has had their lame streams. It happens. You have some good ones. You have some bad ones.
I said I show up for myself and others every day, 500 days straight. I always put something on record. I always follow my intuition, my purpose and meaning, and what I get value from. I always find some source of entertainment, if nothing else. And usually at least one person, if not multiples, gets value from the broadcast, and they return that value. So again, never once in that process was I like longing for Slow State or anyone else to complete that process, because it's like within me and part of me and the spirit and whoever's meant to be here. So if that includes you, great. If it doesn't, great. It's got to be that way. For me, right? For me to have some level of self-control or self-confidence, I have to know that if everyone abandons me in my life, I could still do whatever in my life, including a broadcast. And if that means me being awkward or uncomfortable or doing lame streams until I get my footing, I have to be completely comfortable with that uncomfortable scenario.
Oh yeah,
I've learned that.
lame streams are not a bad thing. It's part of the process. It's a good thing. If you don't have any lame streams, you're probably not streaming enough, I would suppose.
I want to add that before Snafu jumps in, that it started out great when you came here, Flo.
Thank you.
Yeah, it started out great. You and Paul were doing great. I think, Snafu had to tell on you. And then,
well, you know what? Let's just make it real. He tried lying just now, Jackie.
I know.
No, we all watched him cupcake with Paul. We tuned in to see how it would be different.
I gotta get back to work. Good talking to the rest of you.
Snafu's fucking up again. Oh, did you watch it after you admitted doing it? So you're a liar, you fucktard, pedophile supporting piece of shit, Flo. Fuck off. And Jackie, he's a piece of shit. He brought you into shit with you not even being involved. You already know what time it is with me. You've known me for years.
Right. We know what time it is with you. And I keep telling you that you don't understand diplomacy and pretty much anything when it comes to the art of living or interaction. So if you want to have the result, what you do is allow him to show himself, like I've told you with everyone over and over again. Instead of going directly at them and trying to chase them off and convict them, let them convict themselves. If he was over there the other night talking shit about me or Jackie or someone else and is in my face today, not bringing it up, it makes him look like a bitch. And everyone who was watching on both sides is going to know it. So why don't you just let them be who and what they are and let the long game and the people and the spirit convict them? Why do you always have to be judge, jury, and executioner and impede on the long game experience where everyone shows themselves and the truth is revealed? Because you have no patience and faith and self-control. If you did, you would have already seen how this works when I laid it out to you, and you will already have tried to move into that as much as possible. You act like you're the only one who's there watching and can figure anything out. There's plenty of folks who've destroyed themselves, Pathetic Warrior being one of them, by playing both sides, thinking everybody was stupid, and thinking he was going to bullshit everybody in the basement to their face who was watching all sides. And it came back on him. All you had to do was just let them be who and what they are, observe and report and surrender. The universe will do the rest.
I just wanted to add about Flo is that he could have come, but he doesn't want to take accountability for whatever snafu was calling him.
Because he comes from a father who he already admitted there's a cause and effect to all this. It's not coincidence. He already admitted he's enabled his father in the same behavior, which means he's not broken the loop in himself and in his family life. If you don't break the loop with yourself and your family, you will continue the loop in your life everywhere you go. This is the insidious subtlety of conscious and awareness. You have to make the subconscious conscious and aware. You have to know why, and you have to resolve it or leave place for resolution. If not, you have to surrender with the new understanding. There's a reason that we talk certain ideas here, because they are necessary for our growth and development. If you do not incorporate them, inculcate them in your daily existence and life and lifestyle and others, you will fail. You will lose. The things that you value or say you want will leave you. People, places, and things. That's what I found. I can't speak necessarily objectively completely. I could claim objectivity or an eye of God perspective, but anybody can claim that, But again, one would have to presume that the more you practice detachment, the more that you get clarity and oneness of self, the more you can step outside of self and see your position and others in the grand play and scheme. And that's the state of consciousness I think is preferable. And the only way you're going to get that by making conscious all of the things that you've been ignoring and justifying and believing in and projecting that are not true and not real and not founded in anything observable, demonstrable, explainable, or experiential. Right? This is the problem nowadays. We have a whole bunch of individual selves that are one self, all living in their own world, that has been created for them, either by their family or by their misleaders or both, because they're all pretty much overlapping. So, yeah, newsflash, you're going to have to do a devotee type process where you really look at yourself, gain more self awareness, gain more ability to introspect and reflect, and communicate that information to be understood not only by self, but other self. Again, I'm not trying to make slow state or anybody else change necessarily. I'm trying to reveal to them where I see their error and their failing. You could argue that's true care and love. May not always be nice and kind and polite and pretty, but I have no other reason to do it other than I love the game, right? I tell it, I don't sell it, consciousness and awareness, and we will have experiences and I will direct you to where I believe the awareness is important. You could say it's arrogant and egoic. I don't know anything else that's truly powerful or valuable other than the low level bullshit. And I'm not really willing to do it for audience sake because they want to bond in trauma and show their dysfunction consistently. That's where all their numbers go, to the chaos, the controversy, the drama, and the gossip with no resolution. No, I have the resolution with the revelation. I am that state of consciousness. And the only way you're going to get that is through a process and a procedure. And no, I don't have a fucking course. And no, I don't have a product or service to sell you for that. Right? There's plenty of other people who do. You know, it's going to take you really wanting it or realizing you need it and then devoting yourself to that and learning to listen to your intuitive voice, and trusting your discernment once it's able to be trusted. Because again, you got a lot of folks trusting their discernment when their discernment has got them where they are. Your best thinking got you here. If you're not actualized and realized, and you don't really like yourself in your life, whether you admit it to me or not, your discernment's off, right? So there's one truth, one life, one way, essentially. And it's not about my ego and pride. You access it, you experience it, it becomes clear, and then you start to let all the other shit fall away because there's nothing else here for you in this realm other than self-development, self-growth, self-awareness. And then comes obviously manifestation, right? Because one is a product of the other, it would seem to me. The more you get in alignment, the more conscious and aware you get, the more you make the unconscious conscious and align with what it is you truly want or need, the more that it starts to show up rather than leave you. Like attracts like, right? So it's more of a becoming idea through a practice and a procedure that seemingly has been here from the beginning of time. But again, it's going to take radical authenticity. If not with others, with yourself, you're going to have to go take account and be real with yourself. I don't like myself. I don't like my life. My results are not as good as they could be. So where is it that I'm off here? What thoughts am I holding? What emotions am I holding? What am I practicing that's leading me consistently to the same life on life's terms? Right. So usually it's you've taken life on your terms. That's why it's led to your outcome. You take life on life's terms and become a student of life and try to understand yourself and life and how it fits together, the more that you see progress and results. So again, it's an ego checking idea, you know. And that's why a lot of times I'll say it's really not about what you want and don't want. It's about understanding what you need. And the Rolling Stones gave us that game. Can't always get what you want. Try sometimes you get what you need. If you understand who and what you are as a man or woman or as a spirit or both, and you start to move into what it is that you know you need, the wants seem to take care of themselves. It's a more fulfilling life too. I find that no matter how much more we get, we're able to enjoy less because the quality of our life is more purpose driven and fulfilling. See, when we're seeking all these physical things and pleasures and experiences with the world, um, I think that's when we're in that illusory state, you know, lack of true knowledge or self or communion with self. The other side of that is oftentimes I'm drawn to commune with that self in other selves passionately, you know, but the alignment is not there. The understanding of self is not there. The communication is not there. So this is a common theme I find nowadays in my life. Uh, but I just work with it in faith, right? Long game. Your thoughts, uh, Charlie Chapchin? I know I just kind of Said a lot there. Snafu snaps creature, Jackie. We could refocus. I got breaking slave news we can get back to if you wish.
Yeah, I can't really argue with much of what you said, and I'm thinking I'm going to go take a nap anyway, so I'll say my goodbyes here, and you all know I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. So may God bless you, and have a good night. We'll see you next time.
I'm going to show that because they'll say I'm on here drinking alcohol, and I got the green thumb from the reefer.
The ginger drinking ginger, huh?
Right, and that's all natural ginger ale too. Ginger spice, no high fructose, slavery. It's as good as you're going to get from Slave Mart, is what I found. We can't say anything because you always have to have a fucking virtual background, douche. You just can't fucking show up with whatever room you're in. You always got to have a background situation. Can you just get over it, please? I'm encouraging you to be comfortable with who and what you are and where you are. There you go. It's not so bad.
Yeah, I think I've had that brand before of what you're holding up there. It's really good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Better than ginger ale.
So the old man went to take a nap, huh? All right. Let's move on, people. We got a lull in the action. A better
Slave
time
news.
to... Right, let's get back on track here. You got a docket to run. That's why I like having a structure, right? I don't always like having a structure, but it's good for me. Works for me. I've learned that about myself.
I know that you and Jeebus, that Jeebus character, have had your history or whatever, but I saw a video. It just got posted with him in it. It's like 80,000 views or something, and it's got chili in it and stuff. And it's some channel I've never heard of. I can't remember if it was Wizard or Jeebus himself, who might have been in my chat and dropped the link. But I was just checking it out today. I don't know if you had seen it. I was basically.
So what do I do with that information? What you just?
No,
told
I was
me?
bringing it up to ask if you had seen it or not.
Of course, I haven't seen it. Why would I care about that exactly?
I'm just wondering.
Can you give me a reason to care?
To be honest, I watched the first 10 minutes and then clicked off. I'm gonna watch the rest later. But
There you go.
It seems
So
interesting.
it was insanely boring. You see, and then so you come here, you go, oh, I watched there's something an hour and a half. The first 10 minutes, I just clicked it off because it's fucking horrible. And then you want to know if I saw it. Because you were gonna bomb me over how
I
bad
tried
it
to
was,
tell you my
or
real life TSA story
and the way you said it to you, like, oh, it got like 70,000 views, as if that's like this is now the currency of all beta males and females is views.
Views don't mean shit to me, man. Look at my channel.
Wow.
I'm still doing it regardless.
So. Obvious. You took it the other way. I mean, someone has to view the broadcast for it to be considered a broadcast.
Let me ask you though, what would you do, right? If they hit you, if they gave you a strike for playing a video, like say for example, one of the videos you already have uploaded, but they don't strike you there for say one of the Gorilla Gems videos, right? That has 400.
Why are you asking me what I would do when I've already told you what I have done? You have this habit of loving to waste not only your time but mine as well. And that's fine for your time.
Well,
your time
the thing is
no
the strike might have been somewhat founded on some, but my thing is.
Okay, let's reverse this. What did you do?
I'm gonna
go with
nothing.
I'm gonna go with nothing for 500 hours.
AI Christmas song video that
has
been played by many channels multiple times.
No. Penile, look at me. Daddy's here. I want you to look directly at me and answer the questions directly. What did you do after they did whatever they did? How did you respond?
I didn't yet.
You did nothing. Exactly. And there is the same theme in your life coming up again over and over.
It just happened, dude.
I don't care. When has just happened?
What's today? It happened Sunday, I think.
That's just happened for you, right? What day is even today? I don't even know what fucking day it is.
Monday.
But you said that like it's been days ago. So it didn't just happen. It happened days ago, and you've done nothing in response. There's your problem rearing its head again. And then you want to come here and ask me, What would I do hypothetically when I've just told you for a year and a half what I have done? You act like you haven't been on all these streams when I told you they struck me and that I contacted the legal team and I put them on notice. And I explained to them there must be some drastic misunderstanding here and laid out the terms and conditions and thanked them for their understanding and presumed that they would fix it. And 9 out of 10 times they have on some level, at least on the second channel. The first one, they're just, they're just not letting it go.
Yeah, you and I have one thing we have in common. I always tell people also trust the experts and make sure,
Instead of you, the point is,
in any
instead
moment
of
of
us
doubt, just
presuming
turn to your 3-letter agencies, basically. But go ahead.
yeah, okay, you can be fucking cynical and try to troll. That's great. You're hilarious. But the reality is, you want to presume everybody's like you, incompetent, incapable, procrastinating, and unable to make a change or influence. And it's not the case. You should presume the opposite about yourself and others until shown otherwise, consistently. So presume that these people made a mistake. Presume that you're going to tell them the fucking truth and use your conviction to change the outcome. Presume that they're going to understand and fix it. If not, you're going to have them on notice for where there's been an error. But as far as they know right now, Penile Power has no objection to their behavior. He wants to come here and ask me about what I think, because he doesn't know as a man what's in his heart and how to reconcile or put on notice with another man or woman who and what he is and what needs to be done. So it goes back to self-confidence. You have to have conviction and confidence in yourself and the word to put it on record and then surrender. Unless you have any other ideas.
Yeah, acquiescence is agreement. Joe's right. I get that. I don't disagree there. Yeah, I'll do it after the stream. Actually, no, I'm not gonna put my plans out there. I'm gonna get to it at some point. Likely.
At some point.
How do you say it without putting your plans out there?
Why is it that you're worried about putting your plans out there?
Not supposed to tell people your plans.
Who told you that?
I mean, it's the kind of a
So
saying,
you
no?
came here, ignored what the fuck I've done for the last 2 or 3 years, and then want to ask me for advice I don't really give, because I can only tell you what I've done. And you've ignored all that for what some jerk off who you don't even know their name told you what you should and shouldn't do.
Or an AI or whatever, yeah.
Have you ever seen me sit up here and necessarily, other than like extreme detailed private details, like, do I not say it's gorilla season and I'm going to give it to everybody and I'm putting it all on record and I don't give a fuck? And you could argue maybe I could be a little bit more humble sometimes or show humility, right?
Maybe a
But
little.
I don't shy away from manifesting vocally and then sticking to what the fuck I say. I do what I say and I say what I do. That's not really about plans. It's like, you guys are fucking with me. You're doing wrong. There must be some mistake because I didn't do wrong, and I'm going to put it on record and we're going to get this misunderstanding cleared up. So yeah, I'm going to speak life into myself and others, and I'm going to speak it into existence, and I'm going to stand on that. That's not the same as telling everybody, hey, I'm going to be at Slave Mart on the corner or wherever, like Illuma Slavery, walking up and down Jason Street, hoping somebody kills him so he can die, whatever happened to fulfill his purpose. He just wants an easy way out.
If Tommy can get the views that he does, though, it shows anyone can do it because he's just there rambling and much love.
No, I
Tommy.
don't. Views are relative. You say get the views he gets. What does he get? 400 views. 3/4 of them are people there to watch him fail and act like a retard. You really want that? Is that what you want? You want 4,000 or 400 views or however many, 3/4 of which are coming to watch you act like the tard that they know you for everywhere? So you can feel comfortable in your suffering and feel like you're bonding with them?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get past the stages of kind of like existential nihilism that I find myself in sometimes. So, but yeah, I don't
No,
really
you're
drink. I
not.
don't drink. I
No,
don't
you're
really.
not. No, you're not, because you haven't taken any of the suggestions that I've used that have worked for me and others. So, you know what? You're right. You're trying. Trying is what happens when you fail to do. If you really wanted to do it, you would take suggestions and it would be done.
Yeah, you got me on my own grammar. You know, you said
Right.
you were a
Because again,
person the
it's
other
life
day.
on life's term. Do you need to make money or are you special? Do you need to build a house for yourself and whatever family you're going to call in at some point? Do you even want to call in a mate who's going to see you as a value to their life in many areas? So you got to figure out what you want or what you need out of this life or what you're going to get out of this life. Because whether you want or need or not, you can figure out what somebody's going to get out of this life if you look at what they're doing and how they're living. So if you, whether you want or not, or need or not, you can see what you're going to get and then decide, is that what you are okay with, or are you open to something else? Right. So, um, unless you're special and unique and don't need to go build yourself a house and grow yourself some food or make yourself some money to support yourself and your lifestyle, there's your purpose and meaning given to you life on life's terms. That's the starting point. Figure out how to bring in value into your life regularly and figure out how to find value in whatever you're doing to bring in value. And then you've got life beat, because you'll like your life and what you wake up and have to do and be every day. And you'll want to show up and give the people some product or service. And you'll be making your life and their life better in some way, right? And you'll be entertaining yourselves along the way. So that's why I say life on life's terms. You want to live life on your terms, and your mama and everyone in your family in your life has enabled it. And it's been your worst downfall. So if they really cared about themselves and you becoming the best version of you, they would stop enabling you in your procrastination, and they would give you an understanding of what you would need to do for yourself in order to continue to stay there. Because the idea that you could live wherever you're living without working and without contributing is nonsense. Okay. Not for somebody who's in the prime of their life, who's got the world at their feet, essentially, who could do or be anything that they fucking wanted to if they really put their heart to something. You know, you're a young kid, you're a good looking guy, at the risk of sounding whatever, you got nothing that's holding you back in this life except for you. So, that's, they could call it tough love. But if they really cared about you and themselves and the truth, they'd turn you out if they had to get you back on your feet, to start hustling and grinding and being inspired and finding some place to get in where you fit in and find joy and value in that. Better yet, they'd fucking give it to you and encourage you to work it, but they know you'd fuck it up. See, do you want to occupy a position within yourself where you and your family all know already the same thing about you? That they probably got enough money to set you up with something, but can't do it because you'll fuck it up. And I get it because I've been there. So at some point, you're gonna have to like break the monotony. You're gonna have to break the fucking uh, complacency, right? I know that it's kind of counterintuitive because when you get in a certain space, everything kind of tells you to just stay there because it's a form of safety. There's no challenge, test, or unknown element, right? But it's the cage you feel safe in that you're going to die in, right? You're not going to thrive in. So that's why I'm saying it seems stupid when you first look at it and low level and materialistic and all the rest because you're so enlightened and spiritual. If they turned you out today and you were forced to live by life on life's terms, you'd go get a job, or you'd go get a tent and go live in the forest and go collect wood and figure out how to survive. And then once you figure out how to survive, maybe you could figure out how to thrive. But see, they've cut you off from your supernatural purpose and process and beingness by handing you everything or enabling you to access everything without having to do or be something for yourself. Right. So I get it, man. There's probably because your father that your mother and whoever else in your family is guilty, right? And you probably deal with some trauma from that and resentment because usually guilt and resentment go hand in hand, and you're all in a rut, you know, all codependent and bonded to each other, all enabling each other, and never having the real discussions and coming together like a support group to help each other do and be what we need to be so we can feel good about ourselves individually. So I get it, man. Life deals you a fucking rough hand sometimes, or the people around you don't care for themselves and it fucks up the movement. But you got to get back on course, right? And the bottom line is, Pineal Power, you're the fucking man of that house, Sean. You know, not to sound egoic and prideful, but you're the man of that house. You know, you got to start doing something different, something new, inspire yourself and others, because you got that. You got that opportunity, right? You got to start getting more thankful and grateful with who you are and what you have now, and getting out of your rut and doing something new and different. And it's going to come back, especially if you work it for a bit of time. I've seen it in my own life. I really do believe in you in that sense, right? That's why I get kind of down on you at times. I don't get down. I get a little bit disappointed because I know I've been there, and it's a shame. I go, this kid's got a whole bunch of potential. He could really fucking make something happen, but his heart's not in it because he's dealing with that fucking trauma and that fear and that self-doubt and lack of love, right? So if you don't feel loved by these family or these people, your father, whoever, you got to start to cultivate that in yourself, man. And it's going to look like self-care, you know, being hygienic as much as possible, forcing yourself almost to do this shit, you know, cleaning yourself, being hygienic, getting up, getting out of the house, going down somewhere, fulfilling a purpose, doing it over and over again to where you start to build back your footing and your self-confidence and esteem and self-worth and value, right? I'm telling you, man, like I speak with authority because I have to see it at this point as oneself. And I see you doing the same thing I was doing most of my life. And that's fine. We all get it on our own time, you know. But the reality is, um, you know, we're given a certain amount of time here. We don't know when that's up. And we can make a choice at any time to change ourselves in our life, whether it feels like that or not. So when you keep coming back to me over and over, looking and seeking, I keep showing you. It's already there. You already have it. It's already in you. You're just gonna have to nurture it and cultivate it. And you're gonna have to take suggestions, man. And it's gonna feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill at first. You're gonna go, why the fuck am I doing this? I don't see the purpose and value. And then at some point it's gonna click, right? Especially if you use me in this place as a form of fellowship, right? And it's just more content for you in a sense. We've seen you in the same fucking room with the same bullshit background. You think that it's cute and clever and mystical. The reality of it is, we want to see penile power at the fucking kitchen, right? Like a part of us will talk shit about OTW. A part of us likes seeing him say, all right, I'm going to work right now. I'm going to do my thing. I'm in the kitchen, whatever, whatever. Gives him something to do, gives him some space away from us online, right? And everyone else. It's a positive thing if you let it be, you know? So yeah, man. I mean, again, I'm not trying to like talk down to you or do the sun thing. I see you as a version of self, like I do all selves, and I see the potential in you. And I know that you're good at certain things, and I know you love to do certain things. And if you would just fucking move into what you're good at that you love to do and really put your heart into it, I think that you're going to find some reconciliation and resolution within yourself and within your father, with your father, and life. Right? That's what I found out true about me, man. That's all I could ever give you, you know? So anytime you ask me for any of this shit, this is all or whatever I'm going to tell you because it's all I got at this point, you know? I've been right where you've been and worse, bro. Shooting heroin and Molly in my arms, waiting to die, wanting to kill myself. Couldn't live with the fact that my mother didn't love me. Had a stroke when I was born, never paid me any attention, right? I spent 26 years in a fucking hole of depression and suicidal ideation because I just didn't feel loved. I didn't feel like I had a purpose or a position or that I fit in, and I didn't want to live life, bro. And I didn't want to show up for myself or anyone else, and I didn't want to work, you know, and it didn't work. So yeah, at some point you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you just start to roll the boulder up the hill until it gets easier and easier. And then at some point you turn a corner and you've arrived in a sense, right? And then you find there's always more that you could do. There's always something different and new you could do. There's always something in you that says grass is greener in a sense. And then you got to look at that and work with that, check that sometimes. Your thoughts on any of this? Is any of this resonating with you? Am I firing you up to do something different when it comes to the action space?
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to really talk to anybody about a lot of stuff just been happening the last few months specifically. I mean, my dad's mom passed. Wasn't really close to her
Sean,
the
don't you,
last couple of years.
Sean,
My
Sean,
good
Sean,
buddy passed. You gotta let me finish. My
Sean,
good buddy passed.
Sean,
All right.
Sean.
All right,
I've
what was
been
me? I
with
get it.
you for over a year and a half, 2 years. You always have the same rap. You just don't understand. A lot of stuff's been happening the past month. If I took you for
Not
the
what I
next
said.
5 to 10 years, you'd give
Not
me
what I
the
said.
same fucking rap every 5 to 10 years. Guess what, bro? That's life. That's life. I got a dozen motherfuckers that OD'd on fentanyl and went to prison the last fucking 8 months or a year. Do you see me neglecting myself, my purpose, my inspiration, my empowerment, my understanding for what the fuck life on life's terms has to offer? No, because I'm not willing to be beat by life. I'm willing to take life by the horns and to be in charge of myself and my life and my future and destiny. Stop making excuses. All that shit that's happening should give you more fucking motivation and energy to work and become something, because you're going to be one of them next, silly motherfucker. I guarantee 3/4 of these people who bad shit keeps happening to are doing exactly partially what the fuck you and many of us have done for the longest time. Living in lack of purpose and meaning and principle and discipline, and living in dis-ease and not really moving into actualization and realization and changing themselves in their life. Or they just got old and die. It's part of life, man. You can't show up and say, every time I ask you, you don't understand, bro. A lot of stuff's been happening. No, bro, I do understand. And we're not going to compete.
Or you do understand, you don't understand. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I'm not playing the victim card. But yeah, it's just it threw me for a loop because now my other grandma too is in the hospital and all this shit the last couple weeks. It's just but
This
I
person
realized
down there doesn't
how much
understand
it
the
makes me
dynamic.
it makes me
This
question how
person down
much.
there doesn't understand the dynamic. Sean has been with me here for a year and a half, and I've noticed, I believe, certain patterns and themes about him. He's always cutting his heart open, bleeding heart, and always in a victim space because he's traumatized. And you want me, like the rest, to enable him and go, oh, so much has been happening. It's okay. Neglect yourself, your life, and your purpose and waste away. Oh, no. This is how a man or a father figure talks to a son-like figure or an equal who they want to see rise to the occasion and do and be better. Go take that aw shit to your mama. She's been doing too much of that as it is. And part of the aw shit is she probably never had the real deal conversations with daddy, and he probably never had the real deal conversations with himself and others. And that's why he went to taking his life the way he did. The same way all of us wind up going the same motherfucking track, because we're not living into our purpose and authenticity. Do you want to suffer the same fate as I did most of my life, the majority of folks that I've lived with and around, and your own father? No, you don't have to. And you have a great opportunity, I feel, with me doing whatever this is that resonates with you in your heart. Because if I was really abusing you and talking down to you and not caring about you in your walk, you wouldn't fucking come back here, because you know that's not true. I may not have an orthodox, conventional way of expressing it, but guess what? Everyone else does, and it hasn't worked. I'm not invalidating your feelings. I'm validating them in a sense. I know everything you're going through and feeling, and probably more. It's not a competition. When are we going to do something different and change it in the now and in the future? That's all the question ever became for myself and anyone else in this walk. Feelings don't come into it. Feelings are going to keep you out of the game. Ask every motherfucker who takes the field. When we get Steve Martin up here, I'm going to ask him next time, how many feelers do you have come up in you before you go out and play the fucking big game? And if he'd let himself, his feelers would keep him in the fucking locker room, losing and failing. So I get it, bro. We're hypersensitive people. You want to call us intuitive star children, moon gods and goddesses? whatever. I'll give you whatever you need. We're traumatized, hypersensitive people, and we have to learn to go past our fears and get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Or our comfortable cage is going to be where we expire and degrade. There's no other way around it. You're not going to get out of this with some soft hand and some enabling of the dysfunction. You have to see it clearly for what it is and what it's going to take to get out of it. And you have to work it like you really want to become something in yourself and in this life.
I know you had some issues with, and you know, if you don't like where I'm going with it, if you think I'm playing a pity patty bullshit or something, then just go ahead and change the subject. Shout out to
I
Thunder
don't think
Chicken.
that you're doing that necessarily. I think you become very comfortable in that modality because other people have let you get comfortable in it.
I was just gonna ask what you did with your. I know something happened with your grandma, if I'm not mistaken, and you know, right now I'm when I see someone I love on, you know, an endless amount of medications, where a little cup they give you, it's just a little cup full of fucking pills, and then they're scared to try, you know, whatever, turmeric fucking capsules. It's hard to. How do you get through? How would you, you know, if she was still around? I think you lost her, but
You don't.
right, you let them.
You
live their
let
life.
go. You let go. I get it, bro. It's counterintuitive. You want to pull them closer and save them from themselves. It's
Mhm.
going to take you down with them. You got to learn when to love them from a distance and let go or practice detachment. You give them what they need. You tell them the reason why, and you surrender in faith to the outcome. This shit is not for everybody, bro. You're telling me, how do you save somebody next to you who doesn't believe in you? How are they going to take what the fuck you're offering when they don't believe in you because you don't believe in you? Why would someone take a bowl of pills if I handed it to them? Because they believed in me, because they looked at me and the way I present and how I live and say, we believe in this motherfucker so much, we believe in ourselves and what's being offered. How are you going to help someone else and save someone else when you haven't done that process with yourself? You haven't completed with yourself. You're not in your purpose and alignment. They're not going to listen to you. You can't save them. They're suffering from the same thing you are. How you save them? By saving you. Then you may possibly, with some of them, be able to influence them with your influence and your empowerment and inspiration and co-creational process. If you ain't got that, they ain't listening.
All you can do is plant seeds, John.
You may have all that and they won't fucking listen because they don't believe they could do it. The same way I'm telling you not to be like me, but to walk in the way and get what the fuck I've gotten to inside of yourself, if not outside. So you're trying to save them and I'm trying to save you. And what's the ultimate idea here? Nobody could save anybody. You got to save yourself. Once you start to complete within yourself, more is available with others. And then you have to reconcile. It don't matter how much you rise in conscious and awareness and have more inspiration, empowerment, co-creation, and value come forward. They may never take it. You got to let them go. There's more beyond this world, bro.
Mhm.
You know, you can't give me all your fucking high level shit that you all like to do at Ian's and everywhere else. Oh, we're ascending 5D. There's more to this place. Okay, live like that then. There's something beyond this body and this incarnation. Let them go. Why are you trying to hang on to them here? Why are you being selfish? A lot of them want to fucking leave. You may want to leave. That may be part of the problem, is we got a spirit that don't feel quite right or at home completely here because we feel trapped here. What the fuck are you going to do with the whole thing? That's always back to square one, the question, right? How do you make your time here the most valuable? Let's say this is a prison. We'll go full Gnostic. We're all in a prison. We're all doing time. Light body in a physical meat suit incarnation. You better do the time, bro, or the time's going to do you. You better figure out a way how to love yourself and like yourself, even in prison. You better get a set of habits down, a process and procedure to even care about yourself and others in prison. That's all the simulation is.
Yep. One step at a
Testing
time,
ground.
one day at a time. Yes, dojo.
Yeah, testing ground.
You're here to learn. You're here to grow. The theme park, the prisons, whatever you make it to be.
Well, that's the point. Is that's cliche. They call me Paulie Cliche sometimes because the cliches are all true. Life is what you make it. For many folks, jail and prison is a theme park. I'm not saying you should adopt that perspective, that it's beneficial. But one thing we learn in this life is you could reprogram yourself to have any perspective. It's about seeing the silver lining on the cloud, right? It's about adjusting where you fit in and what your purpose is in this life. So for a motherfucker who never wants to rise outside the box and becoming a gang leader and doing hits in prison, it's a fucking theme park because I get to fulfill all my actualization and realization, purpose and meaning right there. Don't need to go nowhere else. But for other folks who want something different or more than that, well, the same thing applies. So, yeah, it's about the perspective and what you're going to get out of it, the intention and the results on the ground with the action space. You got to put that all in alignment. And then you're going to see different things show up, and then you're going to feel different things. All these folks who appeal to emotion don't understand it's a back and forth feedback loop. You start to feel different things when you start to do different things. And vice versa. Once you start to feel different things, you start doing more different things. So you got to work this program, this process of conscious awareness incarnation in what feels a lot of times like a trap, or like a cage.
Some of the happiest people I ever met were in jail. You could say happiness is a state of mind. Does there come a point where it's a delusion? Does it matter if you're happy? Seeing people sitting in there just drawing with color pencils, happy as can be. It's because they just have had acceptance. They accept where they're at. It's the same with frontline warriors. I've had some friends that serve. They say once you accept that you're dead, you don't have the fear to go out there anymore. Once you accept, then you can move on with whatever is available to you. Manifest, co-create what you want to be in front of you. Got to start somewhere.
Well, that's kind of the paradoxical aspect of it. You have to completely accept where you're at in order to do something different, quote unquote, better. Right. So it is a part of realization and actualization is going, this is where I'm at. This is the reasons why that I could do better or be better or have more. And this is what I'm going to do to achieve that in a sense. So, yeah, self-growth and self-development is an achievement in a world of folks who occupy positions where they're unactualized and unrealized. So, again, it's not this or that. You can't full Talcott it and you can't go full capitalist, right? We like to vacillate to extremes. It's this and that. You got to find a purpose and meaning in the community, fulfilling some product or service, some position, but you can't necessarily be money motivated. You got to be motivated by growth and development, logic, morals, and ethics, and service. You got to cultivate a servant's heart, which was something that was very difficult for me because I was very selfish. Imagine that, huh? I was a very selfish, greedy, self-centered individual. And again, I took the hand that I was dealt seemingly, and I try to turn it into something that not only works for me, but for everyone else. And I think I've done a pretty good job with that, all things considered. So nothing necessarily wrong with being selfish and greedy and all the rest of the things that they try to project onto me, because I realize that's an aspect of all of us. What do you do with that? If you get so selfish and greedy that you keep creating more and more different, better versions of you and giving them away to everybody else, doesn't that work for you and everyone else? Your selfishness and your greed, it's about what the fuck you want within self, and it's about what you're chasing after. I ain't necessarily chasing after money and pussy and power in this world. I'm chasing after, if you want to call it that, self-empowerment, self-realization, self-actualization. And you don't have to chase to get that. You just have to realize. You just have to make real what the understanding is.
Realize it, actualize it. One foot in front of the other, one step at a time.
It's a long game. That's the thing. We're really uncomfortable, a lot of us ADD folks, because I know Penile Power likes to lean on all these fucking diagnoses they gave him.
No, they're all bullshit.
So
Good.
yeah, bro, we like to fixate on shit. That could be a good thing. And we like to switch it up every once in a while because we get bored easy. That could be a good thing. Keeps you moving, keeps you fresh, keeps you hungry, inspired, keeps you involved in new things, learning new things, getting new understandings about how you apply it. So you tell me somebody's got anxiety and ADD and all these things, I go, great. Watch how I'm going to use that if they let it be.
Peniel, like what you're going through, with your family situation, like these traumas in life make or break people. They either make you stronger or they break you down. That's your choice. That's how you process it. It's how you deal with it. And we all have free will. Just like your grandmother has free will to listen to the white coats and take those things. That's her will. Even if people have the wisdom and discernment to make a decision, like I was on heroin for many years myself. I knew the harm I was doing to myself. It was a form of escapism, dealing with the reality I didn't want to face. You could say that some people do that with panels, some people do that with drugs, or there's 100 different ways you can escape your situation. But at the end of the day, it's how you choose to process the trauma that builds your character or tears it down.
Yeah, that's the difference between somebody who may use people, places, and things in a sense of radical authenticity and completion within oneself. I don't mean use them in a worldly way. I mean, you could use people, places, and things for escapism. You could use it to go into who and what you are and find out more about yourself and life, right? And uncover all that dark taboo shit that everybody kind of tries to wall up and put in the corner of their beingness. So I don't advocate for drugs. I don't advocate for openness, promiscuity necessarily. I advocate for openness, which could be for everything. You could be open to drugs, sex, all the rest of it, but then you got to use discernment to know what to do and when. That's the tricky part. Why and where's it all going to lead to? You got to play the tape out. That's where we get fucked up. So can mushrooms and ayahuasca and other shit maybe do something with somebody to kind of nudge them in perspective where they need to be? Yeah, I'm sure it's possible. Not all drugs are created equal. So again, it's about having an open heart and open mind, and also cultivating a discernment to know not everything or everybody is for everyone all the time, right? That's the art of living. What to do, when, why, and how, and what's the result, and where is it all leading when we play the tape out in our mind? So kind of having a generalized vision, I think, helps. Setting goals, I think, helps. Ascertaining what it is that you're ready for, and what you're willing to go past what you're ready for. Because a lot of shit, what I've learned more and more each day is, are we ever ready? Right? Like this idea of having a child. Maybe not everybody's meant to have a child, but I feel like I would never be ready for that because of what I've experienced with my mother. So then I go, well, how many other people out there would never have had a child and never had that experience because they weren't technically ready? As if you're ever ready. Are you ever really ready to go to that job interview? Are you ever really ready to fucking make a bet on something that you could lose? Are you ever really ready to approach a woman and put yourself out there knowing that 3/4 of the time you're going to deal with rejection? No one's ever really ready. But that's what the fuck you need, right? It can get you out your box.
Yep.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
They don't understand. Real quick, Pineal, they don't understand. They think I'm being creepy, whatever else. I'm moving into creepy and awkward sometimes by accessing a part of me that's real because I'm jumping out the box. That's what I call jumping out the window. When I start hitting on the women in chat, it's to keep me fresh and lively and inspired and alive, right? And remind myself that I can't do no wrong here if I keep it real. I don't have to fuck them. I don't have to do nothing with them. But I'm not going to live and die in that comfort zone of doing what everybody expects of me, right? So it's one of the ways I not only find out what's available to me, because you learn in life. If I play with this aspect of self and I push the boundaries, I'm going to learn, and then what winds up coming back is you find out there's a lot more women who might potentially be interested in you than you ever thought because you got low self-worth and self-esteem. But am I doing that to get that? No, I'm doing it because I don't want to occupy a zone where I can't jump out the window at times and be all the way myself and talk however I want and feel like I'm going to be beaten back into place and submission, right? So it's a way of kind of playing with this conscious awareness in this body and pushing boundaries so I can retain that passion and that purpose and that meaning, right? But I'm not undiscerning with it. You know, a lot of times the farthest I go will be a metaversal interaction. I'm not out going dicking people. Far from it. I told you that before. So they get all the wrong ideas about me and why I do what the fuck I do, and don't understand that I'm just completely in my passion and purpose at this point, and I direct that. You know, and yeah, women is part of that. Let's not kid ourselves. Women serve only as an inspiration source for men. If it weren't for women, none of this shit would have got done. Motherfuckers would have sat around like Tommy in his celibacy rap, cooking beans on a hot plate and never leaving his fucking hovel. So you want to know why you got culture and civilization and society and technology and all the rest of it? Because of women. Men built it all, but it's through the inspiration of women. There's no doubt about it. It's just channeled in a certain direction.
Yep. And once you go past your fears and go out, step out there and do whatever your heart and passions pursue you to do, how you do anything is how you do everything. You know, we all have room for improvement. I'm constantly working on that.
Why is this person? Hey, whoever is this Pineal Power or is this whatever his name is? I'm done with this person. He spent the last 3 hours sitting here watching, waiting, and hating, and trying to update my presentment, and still won't get on panel and talk to me man to man. Right? I don't need your advice. I don't need your critique. Right? I don't need your predictable projections of who and what I am and what I do. We've heard it all before. It's boring and old. You're not saying anything new or clever or interesting. Right? And you won't even get up on panel and have a real interaction. So whoever is this chain slave is chained to, could you please remove
Why
him?
the fuck would that be me?
Completely possible. Yeah, like I just don't.
Oh,
need,
you meant
I'm
like in my
abusive.
restream chat? No,
Right?
it's
Because hold on, we're gonna do the thing. I'd love to see this beta male. I guarantee the reason he won't come up because as soon as we see him, we're gonna know why he rejects and rebukes me. Abusive, a pervert, natural guru. Right? I'm abusive because I keep it all the way real and don't enable people's victimhood consciousness. And I'm a pervert because I'm a man who's attracted to and loves women and interacting with them on all levels, right? I'm so perverted, man. Doesn't get any worse than that, huh, guys? Right. As all of your rulers and misleaders are fucking children, trafficking in the souls of men and women, lying and misleading and deceiving. I'm so bad for keeping it all the way real and getting into the subconscious, making it conscious, and then just revealing myself completely and letting everybody judge me while everything that's in me is in them as well, but they lie about it. Right. But I direct it, as I say. So I'm a pervert now. And this is the thing. You can't do fellowship. You can't do leadership because scum like this will get around, say you're doing a cult, trying to be a guru, even though you're showing people value just by showing who and what you are completely and surrendering. You know, so they'll put you down because they're afraid of themselves and what's in them, you know, and then mock you. Natural guru. Okay. Why are you here again for 3 hours? We don't know. He doesn't know, right? I know he doesn't. So yeah, I'm making all the subconscious conscious. You're afraid of it, but you're drawn to it because you know you need it, but you won't take it. What else is new? Doesn't get any more Freudian, doesn't get any more archetypal when it comes to the psychological aspects, sociological aspects. And it's always the same predictable critique. So you know this person occupies a box 24/7, 365. You know they're not going to push the boundaries of it. They rebuke me pushing the boundaries. They're so in prison. Right. So tell me all about how we're 98. This is the same guy who'll tell me we're 98% chimpanzee, but I'm a pervert for understanding alpha, beta, delta, gamma sort of roles, right? And how it's present in all kind of hierarchical mammalian societies. So, like, is it abusive to check other people's bullshit ego and pull them back into place for the collective purpose that we can all apprehend? No, it's not abusive, especially if I'm not physically doing it with words. Is it perverted for a man to occupy a certain status with the inherent power, value, dynamics, hierarchical, and for women to see that being as more attractive? No, it's far from perversion. It's displayed everywhere in creation. So you are a rebuker of the supernatural. You're a rebuker of the animalistic parts of yourself, while you'll also be an institutionalized freak who tells me all about the facts, how we're just like the chimpanzees and the animals. See, it's that cognitive dissonance. So we need to reconcile the animalistic being and the angelic spirit and or the conscience, if you just want to take it to a local aspect of self. It can be done. Right? They can work hand in hand and be directed rather than be at war with each other consistently. It is possible. But first comes acceptance, as the Thunder Chicken spoke about earlier. First, you must accept this dynamic in creation that's been put forth. And then you have to seek to understand it. And that's going to take radical accountability and authenticity. Then once you understand it, you can direct it for the highest beneficial outcome for self and hopefully, faithfully for others as well. Although that's a gamble, because we know there's a lot of egos here and a lot of folks want certain things. And when they don't get it, they tend to act out and play the victim. So that's when you'll have folks in your life who will claim, that you harmed them, done them wrong. You never lied, never deceived, stayed in your purpose and meaning. We're open to co-creating and then adjusted that as you saw fit. Your thoughts? Thunder Chicken, Penile Power. I've been doing a lot of talking. I'm trying to help out this confused, looks like old alien reptile man.
Well,
Can't figure out his alien nature. Go ahead.
With fellow men and women, we make the effort to keep trying and trying and trying to help people and see things where, most animals, if they're lame, they're just put down. So consider yourself among the better of the living species in this realm. Sir.
Well, that's the thing, is part of domestication and civilization is to allow the beta males to individualize and even succeed and thrive. Because in any supernatural system, the majority of these beta males, with the way that their attachment style is and co-creation style and lack of awareness, they'd be pushed to the fringes of any community and they would be rendered helpless and hopeless. And that's the cold reality that a lot of these folks don't want to accept, that their society and culture is perfect for them. It allows them to be a weak, disempowered, uninspired beta male who occupies a position and somehow can get everything else in the world that the regular man or animal would have to strive and achieve in order to get. And this is why I say the subconscious part of it is the beta females are the ones in complete control. If they would stop giving pussy to, I'm triggering now, I'm doing egoic triggering. If they'd stop fucking and or stop co-creating with the beta males, they'd have to rise to the occasion or they would cease to exist. But again, everything as it's supposed to be. For every beta male, there's a beta female, because neither of them wants to rise to the occasion of inherent hierarchical power and value systems. They want to be their own gods and find completion and happiness through each other. Yeah, right. It's been going so great so far on a mass scale.
Indeed.
That's why we cease to have community at all on a local level, is because of this overlay. Artificial intelligent overlay that seeks to keep us from reuniting with the truest, most unprettiest aspect of self. That's the difference between a freed being and a domesticated slave. And you're not kidding anyone. When you males are out and about over your holiday week in your onesie, matching flannel, your woman runs you. And you know who runs her? The state. So you're right where the fuck you need to be. And that's why you got that broken spirit look in your eyes. Because you've never left 3 boxes you were fucking born into that your mammy and your pappy were born into as well. So the curse of the generations continues on.
Well, you don't like cute couple stuff? I'd like to bring up a matter of...
forever. Diamonds are a woman's best friend. Call K Jewelers this holiday season. Get your beta female a token of your appreciation and dedication to her ego. It's going to
3 months
serve you
salary.
well in the coming times.
3 months salary, the average wedding ring for the beta male.
Yeah. And then the wedding, they got to go 50 to 100K in debt to please that woman's ego, to make her feel like a special girl for the day.
Make dowries great again.
I love it. I say give them more of what they need. Really break their spirit and show them what's available versus what they've got.
Yeah, the dowry went away with the family unit, That's why you got so many women with daddy issues. I mean, I get it. I didn't have a mama either. We all come from, a lot of us come from broken homes. Creates character, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, these folks don't understand that they think they're so much smarter and clever than the ancients. They think they're so uncivilized. The reality is they were doing shit with some level of understanding of their fucking nature. So the reason why, that woman's family would pay for you to take her on is so she didn't become a money hungry, gold digging hoe, right? Because we understand that, especially in that world, it was pretty much a man's responsibility to create value, right, or to build it. So when was she going to become my daughter, right, in the sense of me having to be her daddy? So I think that's what you're speaking of, is typically the culture, certain cultures, the woman's family, I believe, if I have this right, correct me if I'm wrong, would pay the man for her to become essentially uh, part of that home.
Well, I think it's still the tradition in some circles for the father of the bride to fund the wedding. Yeah, depends on the family, I suppose.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, with a different kind of, and you could argue that it's not natural or functional to have women in a workplace with men. And they'll say, oh, it's so chauvinistic. No, because when you bring women and men into interactions in the workplace, they're going to fuck, just like the animals do, right?
It
So
happens.
typically, knowing part of our nature and having discernment, we say it's probably not a good idea to let men and women be in the workplace together, right? So a woman's place is in the home. You could argue it's an egoic concept. You can argue it's a discerning concept. Really depends on how you look at it, really.
Yeah, I do support the freedom, but yeah, it's a
Yeah, I
great way
mean,
to
I
institute
like to
control.
keep it P, right? I like to push the P, not the pogo, but I like to keep it player, right? The idea is ultimately, if you check your ego and you're in your purpose and alignment, one would have to um, accept that women that you're interacting with are going to interact with other men. You have to do and be and have something that they can't get pretty much anywhere else. That's how every marketplace works. So, you could call it shallow, vain. I don't see it that way because I'm
Uh,
mostly talking the metaphysical. Go ahead. You're saying something?
Paul, I got 12% battery left. I'd like to bring up a topic I've been meaning to come up on panel to discuss. So I've had a war rant for a couple years now, and just I lay low. I don't cause problems. So I'm looking to deal with this.
So wait a second. I got to stop you here because please, I want to hear this. This woman says she worked side by side many men, music and construction. There was a thing called respect. No, there's a thing called you're delusional. Okay.
Well, I've seen it.
You've got all those men lying to themselves and you when they're like around every corner mentally masturbating, if not physically, presuming you're attractive. Because maybe the reason they respected you so much is because they saw you as one of the boys. You're not an attractive woman. But if you bring an attractive woman, I know I worked construction on a construction site. It's far from respectful. It may be orderly because everybody's got their chains on ethically and know what they're supposed to say and not based on what their mama told them and what the boss told them. But you're kidding yourself. Okay. So let's just get really real with ourselves and each other. That's not respect. That's fear.
Oh, she works
Men
with
have
many
been
men.
taught what they need to do and not do, or else get put in a cage or get whipped verbally. And they're fearful of acting out the way they normally would in creation and showing their attraction for women. And many of them don't. They don't hold it back, right? Catcalling and the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, I get it. There's a middle ground of being respectful to all beings and not violating their bodily security. Just as a spiritual being. But to act as if when you bring men and women on the job site with each other, the energy doesn't change. It does. It just does. If you bring 10 men to do a construction job and you bring one attractive woman on that site, you're changing the whole energy and dynamic of that workspace. There's no way to argue and deny it.
Oh yeah, she's not
And you're going
carrying
to
her own
change the
lover.
complete outcome as well because half the men are going to go to try to figure out how to fuck her in between doing their job, presuming she's attractive.
So, anyways, this is my first. They got me a driving charge, intoxicated, a couple years ago. Just been kind of researching law and figuring out how I want to approach it. I know I'm no candidate for probation. Honestly, I want to go do 30 days in jail again. As insane as that may sound, I've had some of my deepest self growth in a cell with books, and I think it'll do me some good. Trying to break some habits, hard to quit smoking. It's hard to not do stuff. I think it's like a good mental reset sometimes. But I plan to present in court. I plan to not pay a public pretender, just plead to the judge. Asked because they always throw people probation. It's my first driving intoxicated charge. I haven't been in trouble for like 8 years, and that was in Florida. Yeah. How would you handle something like that? If you wanted to actually go to jail, but only get 30 days. I think it's only punishable
You're
up to
asking
90.
me how to handle what you want and what you get out of life. That's bizarre.
I'm seeking counsel from somebody I respect and has experience.
So it's not about experience, man. I'm not experiencing from your perspective. So if you're telling me you get something out of going to jail where you're at right now, then lean into it. I mean, if you're not going to lose, if you don't have family and you don't think you're losing out on anything, and you find benefit, I mean, as long as you're not self-sabotaging and trying to use the jail as a babysitter because you find life to be too difficult. If you're not in that position, you're like, okay, I'm traveling, I'm following my conviction, I'm doing what I believe is right. These people say they're going to put me in a cage, so I'm going to surrender that outcome. And also, I find that it's beneficial for me to practice isolation and detachment from the world or from the day-to-day systems. Who am I to tell you where you find value or purpose and meaning? Like I said, other than being aware of in myself, I don't know if I could ever get to that level. I just so much value my freedom. I'm willing to give it up if necessary, but I don't think I could ever completely feel comfortable in a jail. I can find comfort in myself while I'm there. I can find purpose and meaning probably more there than I do on the outside. And that can be a revelation of kind of what the issue is on the outside, on the inside, right? So, yeah, man, I mean, I'm a student of life. I'm about gambling. I'm about playing the game and getting all out of it for what it's worth based on what you feel you need, right? And that can change from time to time. So, if you feel like you're getting what you need and you're finding value in it and there's purpose and meaning and conviction behind it and you're not self-sabotaging, well, what do I have to contribute,
Well, I just appreciate your perspective. Someone who lives their information and walks a similar path. I wanted to bounce it off of you. Yeah, I do feel in one way.
This is kind of a silly thing to say. If it were easy to be in jail, the majority of folks would not be afraid to go.
Exactly.
So it's not easy to go to jail because one of the hardest things for someone is to be reduced to themselves with little to no distraction and stimuli. So that's one of the most challenging things folks find in the modern day world is having nowhere to go and nothing to do, and then finding purpose and meaning with oneself. So if you find it to be easy to be with yourself all day, every day, and or to choose to interact with yourself, because when you're in there with other selves, they may not be the most reputable, or they may not be the most purposeful or spiritual or faithful, however you want to put it. So even if you're around others, you may choose to spend most of your time with yourself. If that's easy for you, then you're probably in a good place in your life, even if you're in jail. Most people don't seem to have that experience. They're constantly looking for people, places, and things to help them escape their purpose, meaning, work, and fate in life. They don't love themselves and their fate. So, if you could tell me you found that space in jail and it was easy for you, well, then you got something that, as far as I can tell, most people don't have, because they're constantly running up and down the shore saying they've crossed over.
I've seen them too. Well, no, like on one hand, I do feel like it is babysitting me from something. It's not that I'm running from, but I admit that I'm struggling to do on my own. It's changing some of my habits, quitting smoking cigarettes. I've been researching and studying the law, trying to learn the ways where I could avoid this. But I feel like I'm in dishonor. They caught me. I wasn't doing anything wrong from my perspective, but they got me on a technicality. So I just feel like it's the honorable thing to do. And do I not have to clear up?
Technicality of what exactly?
I had 2 beers and drove a mile home, and my taillights were out, and they got me.
Well, I mean, again, sir, it's not even about a technicality. I can drink 10 beers, and if I didn't cause a direct threat to anybody, which apparently you didn't, they pulled you over for a taillight. If it's about the taillight, it's not about you being a direct threat to others. Again, this is a technicality where you've accepted their system to be all powerful and all knowing and all conclusive. This is about drinking responsibly. So if you actually had 2 beers and then could take yourself home without any impediment to your own consciousness or others and without being a direct threat to others, that's common law. Never in history would it have occurred to anybody to put on a costume and start policing other grown fucking men about what was in their bloodstream. Absent some need for it. So that's not a technicality. The common law is I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And until you have me in a direct threat or causing loss, injury, and harm, there's nothing to talk about. You're trying to police my inner space and my consciousness.
And I agree. And that's one thing I have second thoughts about. I know I'm not in the wrong.
With that said, let me give you the other side. I think you're absolutely foolish at this time and place to be drinking it all and getting behind the wheel, knowing how they're going to receive you. I think it's absolutely foolish.
And I was.
You could pretty much smoke all the weed you want, and they'd have a hard time establishing if you were driving while intoxicated unless they observed you hitting the fucking blunt. The fact that you would at all drink a substance you're going to smell like, which is going to have them take you out of the car and give you a test and show you got alcohol in you, is like the most foolish thing you could do. So you'd have to look at how you have a dependence on alcohol, so much so you went and did something you wouldn't normally do that you knew was foolish and probably would lead to you getting fucked over.
Oh,
and again, every single person who knows smell of weed is not necessarily consent to search. And even if they search, there's no test they could give you other than a roadside test, which is an opinion and it's subjective. When they get you with alcohol in your system with that blower, they're going to say you're DUI.
Well, and here nor there, like I said, the situation I can't change. I was in the wrong. That's why I said I'm in the wrong. I'm more looking at it as an opportunity.
I just told you. I'm giving you both sides of the perspective. I think you're foolish when it comes to common sense, but when it comes to common law, you're protected because you didn't create a direct threat, and they cannot police men and women to not have 2 drinks at dinner. Now, again, when you tell me 2 beers, what do we know when we study criminology? Every drunk says they had 2 beers. It's a patented response.
It was 2 7.0s.
They've done tests where they show someone, no matter how much they've had, always uses the 2 beers line. So if I'm a cop, and you better say 1 or 3, because when you say 2, I already know you're probably bullshitting yourself and others. Because usually people don't have 2 beers. They have 1, they have 2. 2 leads to 4 and 6, and that's usually the problem.
I usually go home for the rest, 2's my cutoff for driving.
Makes no sense. Why would you, again, so all you really had revealed to you was you have a problem with alcohol because it causes you to do shit is going to get you fucked over. And you did it anyway.
The smoking and the other habits. That's why I
got pulled over with a fucking lit blunt in my hand, and they really couldn't do shit. I wasn't driving, but I'm just saying that you learn enough in life in this experience to kind of know how they're looking at shit and to read the room. Right now, alcohol is like public enemy number 1 when it comes to drinking and driving. You could pretty much smell like a pound of reefer and have a lit up blunt and maybe even get your way out of it. Oh, they just passed it to me. I didn't hit it. If there's someone else in the car. Oh, my cat's in the car. He was smoking weed. He just passed it to me. I swear I wasn't going to hit it. Are you high right now? I don't really know. Life is about highs and lows. What do you think? You know, oh no, do you have any THC in your system? This shit lasts 30 days at a time. I take so much of it medicinally, I probably got it in my system. Is there any way we're going to be able to figure this out right now? No. You
I
get out
understand.
smelling like liquor, you're done for. You're already over.
Because again, I'm using this as an opportunity to go sit with myself, reset habits, reset my thinking, my routines, my schedules.
Have you done this before?
I've never volunteered to go to jail. No.
Did you do the process while you're in there?
Yeah, it was a different I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I was 19 to 23, when I was out of jail a lot. And if my phone dies, we'll continue this on a different broadcast. No, when I was younger, I did a change of plea to get me to court faster so I could at least be sentenced. I didn't have family to bond me out. Every time I went to jail, I sat there. I never made bail. Sat there, tell court on $100 bond before. It just is what it is. But it's time served towards the offense.
Yeah, I'm saying like I don't like at that point I was on New York and I wasn't driving at the time. There's been other times where, you know, again, I'm not going to get into it directly, but I've had enough experiences to know enough to know that you're going to get further smelling like reefer, especially states where it's legal. Then you're going to get smelling like liquor. It's just not going to go well for you. Especially
the merits of the case aren't as important as what the higher philosophical goal of the experience that I'm trying to facilitate. They didn't even charge me for not having a license, no plate, no registration, no insurance.
Right.
They just got me for the.
But that's what I love about it, bro. The universe fucks you so good.
Yeah,
there's no way to deny it. It fucks you so good. You want to get fucked real good to completion? Play with the universe. So you were riding around with no plates and no nothing else. They didn't even stop you ever for that. They finally got you they stopped you for courtesy for the taillight, and you're on fucking liquor, and they didn't charge you with the rest of it. Mm-hmm. If you don't get something out of this, I don't know what to tell you or anyone else.
And again, that's my thinking. Do I go and challenge it and bring up those extra charges they could put on me?
Yeah, bro, you go all the way. That's the thing. You're bitching up in a way, as far as I'm concerned.
There's a lot of ways to look at it.
Common law, and you're not in their jurisdiction, then all their codes are advisory. None of them are compulsory. So hey, I appreciate you. Listen,
I'm still a citizen.
Listen,
I haven't done the process.
If you're smart, you play it all the way real, all the way through for yourself. You know, just like I did with the drugs. I told them, these are my drugs. I'm doing them. And you're not going to tell me I can't. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm riding on this shit. I have a right to put whatever the fuck I want in my body. Did I cause any harm to anyone? Was I a direct threat? Nah. So what's the public safety aspect of this? You're trying to keep me safe from myself. Thank you. But you're not me and you're not my daddy. And I don't consent to that. Now, with that said, I also in the next breath told them, now let's talk about what the fuck you all want to do with me, because I probably need rehab. So if you really want to be real with yourself and them, you go, listen, legally, lawfully, you got no case, you got no jurisdiction over me because I didn't cause direct threat. And I'm not going to heal to the idea that I did wrong in the sense of legally and lawfully. Now, with that said, I could argue or make the case for myself, probably not the smartest move ever to do everything I'm doing and drink 2 beers. Not wrong. Have a right to do it. Probably not the most common sense, intelligent thing to do, knowing what the fuck we know about just the general state of things. But again, that's an ethical determination, not a moral one. So if no harm was done and there's no direct threat, and all they're basically saying is, well, you admit to drinking 2 beers and then taking your property home. Right. It's my property. It's my body. It's my consciousness. If there is no one on the other side with a valid claim, we got nothing to talk about. But I will take this under advisement. See, that's how I approach it. As a student of life, I go, it ain't about you guys, the courts. This is a lesson straight from that thing. And I'm taking the fucking lesson right now and I'm getting it. Whatever the fuck you all do after this, that's what you're going to do. And I'm going to get something out of that too. Right? But I don't go to them about their authority. I don't go to them about what they think and feel about me and what their codes say. I go, where's the common sense understanding that this force is communicating through these people? What am I supposed to learn here? Right? So when I went to jail for heroin and pills and the rest of it, when I was on all that shit, I knew why the fuck I was there. Because I couldn't manage my own life and affairs, and I was doing fucked up shit to myself and everyone else. I needed a change and I needed a break.
Well,
The same way the second time when I had to go to rehab because I just copped all of it. I didn't hire an attorney. I didn't lie. I didn't bullshit. I said, these are my drugs. I'm going to use them. What are we going to do? Okay, well, you're not going to get through the whole case and you're going to get convicted and probably do a year. Do you want to just go to rehab? I go, no problem. I need that anyway. I had to be real with myself. You know, even though I was going to fucking go through certain withdrawal or even just, you know, feel like I want to continue, whatever. I knew what I needed at that point. And I knew to go to 28-day rehab rather than a year in prison and getting better off the second time without an attorney standing on common law, I got everything I needed.
That's a sweetheart deal. Phone's about to die. I just wanted to I'll continue this conversation on something else. I don't acknowledge snafus. I would
did you submit blood work? Did you submit blood work and all that other shit? And you may not recognize me, but you have fun getting more ringworm in jail, dude, if that's what you want.
Oh, yeah, builds character.
Builds character.
Something you don't know about.
Well, you know what? You're the one saying I need to fucking go to
You
jail.
are a ringworm. You're a human ringworm.
Yes.
Rielle's fucking so happy she's not sitting here having to bail your dumb ass out.
My phone's at 1%. I will continue this conversation with you in the future, Paul. But yeah, I've done
the public pretender. We know what he's doing.
We know exactly how going
to handle this.
I'm saying I can't do probation. Pretender. Give me 30 days. I'll be out your hair. So that's
you gave him blood work, didn't you?
No, I just blew. Shouldn't have done that.
Oh, you blew.
So yeah.
Why didn't you deny it?
Yeah, why didn't you say all men out there never blow?
It's about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago now. So that's why I've been
in your private life, right? Don't do it on the public record.
Yeah. Why would you submit to that knowing what it's used for and all this fucking talk? And if you can't even stand up to law enforcement saying go to jail or blow, and knowing you're probably going to jail after you blow, why the fuck would you do that, dude?
If I could do it again. Why'd you go to prison? You know, you didn't make mistakes.
Why'd I go to prison? I was young, dumb, took a deal for medical marijuana in years. But I guarantee if I got pulled over nowadays, I ain't blowing shit. Take me to jail. Take me to fucking jail. Let's go, motherfuckers. You're a dumb idiot. You comply. Now they got your ass locked down.
Take me to jail.
That's exactly what I'm going to tell them.
They already got your ass. They don't need to tell you. If you would have said, take me to jail without blowing, you would have fucking had something, dude. But you're fucking sitting here bragging, I gave them everything they need. Take me to jail. They're like, yeah, we are, bud. You dumb fuck. Brielle, you saved yourself from ringworm. You saved yourself from bail. You saved yourself good for
from taking it slow. So you think he'd have been hitting Brielle up for bail right now? That's
guaranteed. He probably still is going to once he gets, you know.
Bro,
I guarantee he's going to get a public
you don't comply, and then you make it clear that you're not lying and running hiding either. I don't need to comply to go, yeah, I had 2 beers, and I'll do whatever the fuck I want because I didn't cause any harm and I'm not a direct threat. And you have advisory code, and it doesn't apply to me. It's not compulsory. So either get your valid claimant.
Do people forget that part where it says anything you say can and will be used against you in the court? Take me to fucking jail, motherfuckers. They're going to take you to jail whether you say something or not, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, you got to do the process. They're going to book you. They're going to do the charges. They're going to do trial. And
that's what I don't think they understand. I think they really think that they're going to get a break and
some easy way out. Hello? Because the cop says, hey, it'll be a lot easier. Excuse me, it'll be a lot easier if you just blow me. And people go, all right, I'll blow you because it'll be easier. And then they're like, hey, you just blew this guy on the side of the road. You're really fucked up. Not only were you drunk, you blew the officer. Right? You just put yourself on record.
Pretty much. Like, that's the thing. I don't think they understand. Like, they really do believe these fuckers being manipulative. Like, oh, well, it's better if you do this.
Forgetting that these people are not completely human, right? They get so lulled into this is a man or woman in front of me and we're having an interaction. No, it's not. It's a robot running code, and they're going to get you on whatever you put forth.
That's true.
You're going to get really discerning on figuring out what it is they're asking you and why and what's going to go on record. Like, you have to know what they're doing. Even better than they do sometimes, because a lot of what they're doing is just protocol and procedure. They don't even know completely why they're doing what they're doing. The court does. They go, oh yeah,
I
get the
love
license, registration, insurance. If you don't give them license, registration, insurance, and you have no plates, you're not in their jurisdiction. They shouldn't have been stopping you for a taillight anyway. Because again, it's state or city code, it's advisory, it's to keep everyone safe. Was anyone claiming you were endangering someone by having a taillight out? If they do want to advise you for your own safety and everyone else's, great. Thank you for the advice. I'll change the taillight. We have nothing else to talk about. Because I'm not in your jurisdiction of being kept safe from myself and others if there's no claimant on the other side. All you have is a state of on the paperwork and an agent who's biased. It has to be a third party, impartial witness, or claimant. Both, really. You know, there's elements of a crime. There's elements of the court and proper process and procedure, not legal procedure. But again, this is like from the beginning of time. So, you know, never before in history would someone have put a costume on unless you were in complete slavery and fascism. Hello, that's where we're at. But it even then, it's still the presumption should be a man is a man. He's responsible for himself and his property. He could do whatever he wants as long as he's not a direct threat or causing harm, because everything else is people's beliefs and feelers, and we're not regulated by that. Sad to tell y'all, we're not run by people's beliefs and feelers. We are now because everyone submitted to it, but that was not Americana. Far from it.
I just love how he came to the conclusion. Well, now that I've already pretty much gave him a case and complied to everything, I'm going to jail. Maybe that's when I'll work on myself. You know, like, dude, you
That's
thunderstiff
fine,
fucking chicken
That's
motherfucker.
fine. That's fine. You can't, bro. You can't be hypocritical. We all sometimes have to get sat down. We all sometimes got to take a break. We all sometimes got to reprioritize and refocus. And if getting caught up on some stupid shit, like we all do sometimes, is a pause for reflection, then that's how it comes to you, man. Oftentimes the growth comes wrapped in something you don't want to open. You know, that's the key to life. Oftentimes the best value and presence come in a wrapper you don't want to look at and touch.
Yeah, I just, you know
Part
what,
of the
though?
cosmic game.
When we're talking about, like, you play law enforcement videos every day, we talk about what the fuck's going on. This motherfucker literally gave him a case. You're an idiot, Thunder Simp. What the fuck,
if
dude?
you're completely underestimating the fact that people come here every day, take me and the understanding for granted, fuck off most of their time with me, and it's only when they're about to get consequences that they realize they should have valued their time and me and our experience more. What else is new? This is another thing we learn in life. We all learn it constantly, man. You can't deny it. It's only because I show up here 7 days a week that folks go, yeah, whatever, he's on again. Yeah, whatever, he's talking legal and lawful. Yeah, whatever, they don't use his place and me the way they really need to get what the fuck they need to become better. They just want to mail it in and half-ass it. Okay, you like it, I love it, because I'm going to show up for me and others in the purpose and meaning regardless. I don't really give a fuck what you get out of it. I can't, you know, and I'm aware of the dynamic. So usually people only wake up when something's on the line and they're threatened. You know, and then they're willing to like take suggestions and look at it.
Hey, this is me being nice, Thunder Simp. Just giving you a little advice, whether you want to listen to me or not. Fuck the public pretenders. Fuck all of them. Go to the district attorney and say, if this is what you want, say, put me in a rehab program or some kind of bullshit like program. You know, fucking, you know I fucked it. But if you go the public pretender route, if you do all this shit and acting like you're fucking doing it, they're playing you, dude. You already fucked up by complying the minute you breathed into that shit, dude. So
yeah. So
I
like
really don't
also
feel
the
any-
other thing too is like I can't even do a broadcast now with other people overlapping because all these people are watching multiple broadcasts at once and they're gonna try to drag me into these other interactions. Like we all know who's on and pretty much regularly. We all know what goes on there. Like I don't need to report here in the chat constantly. Oh, they're over here doing this and they want you. I know they want their daddy. I know they need the interaction with their daddy. I know that they know that daddy's got the flavor and the content and the soul and all the rest of it. And that's why I'm here doing what I'm doing and you're here with me. I'm not over there. And I don't need to go everywhere else and make their broadcast into something because I just love the game, right? It's like work for me. You know, these aren't interesting, talented, entertaining, focused, present, clear people. with purpose in their life. So every time I go anywhere, I have to work double time to make it into something because I'm working with dead wood, right? So I don't really at this point appreciate, I'm not down on it. You guys want to go there and hang out and jack off metaphysically, go do it. I don't really get much of value or purpose with any of these people at this point. That's why I'm not there. And seemingly they don't get much with me. So the better for both of us to just kind of stay in our lane, right?
Just, you know what? After listening to Thundersimp, I gotta go, dude. After Thundersimp, this is a perfect example of all you fucktards that act like you're about something. Can't even fucking tell a cop, hell no, take me to jail. I ain't breathing in your shit. Simp ass motherfuckers who will be thrown in the ovens, or you will comply. And you want to act like you're gonna fucking stand for something, bitch ass fuckers. That's all I gotta say. I'm out.
Right. Okay. Your thoughts? Your thoughts, penile power? We're almost 40 minutes over right now. We never got to cop shooting citizen slaves.
No breaking slave news yet. No dead citizen slaves. I mean, no bloodshed. I mean, it's got to give the people what they want, Paul.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll starting to get my head hurting. Lou says it's not from eating meat, but I think it's from too much screen time or devices, and 5G around me.
Too much pasta?
No, there's never too much pasta. There's an MMA fighter who says he survives off pizza and pasta every night, and he's just whooping ass yesterday.
Oh, did you hear who died? The maker. Was it the maker of the Glock? Can't remember his name. Something Glock. He died. He just died.
Hold on, somebody's finally contributing to me as is deserved. I'm way underpaid nowadays. 1 second. And this fucking notification system it's not been optimal lately. Julian says, blessings, slaves with authenticity and truth daily. Thank you for your contribution, Julian Creature, during this holiday season. It's nice to know that I'm valued and cared for and respected. Soon we're all going to have Lambos, or at least I'll have Lambos, and some of you will get to use them on the land. But you can't have them, and it's a limited usage, right? As long as I'm around. Your thoughts, penile power? Right.
Yeah, and that's what my whole thing is. Yeah, that was it just there.
That was it.
Right.
that was your whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we never really did get to Axes of Resistance or anything else, did we?
Yeah.
What happened?
You also didn't play the last cop flicks either.
What did happen? I love that Paul and Slave Channel has 15 people watching. That's great. Like, who's the 15 over there right now? You realize we're on another area, right? We're on Proper Instruction Channel. Why is there 15 of you? This is what I mean. These people are sick.
Do the math, man.
They won't let it go, right? They're probably
channel,
people who go ahead.
Yeah, a channel with a little under a quarter the amount of subs, which would be Pimp Unslaved versus Paul Enslaved, would have, if my math's correct, 1/10 of the audience. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right. Instead, there's 140 on the second channel at 5,000 and 15 on the one with 22,000. The numbers don't add up, huh? Strange.
My favorite is I don't know if you even pay attention, but I see it happen. It happens to your streams all the time.
Da 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 blah blah blah.
There you go.
My life be like da 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 blah blah blah. Da 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 blah blah blah. Da 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 blah blah blah. My life be.
Good, sweet, short and sweet.
That's why they're not watching on Paul and Slave Channel.
Daddy, chill.
I lost my train of thought, man.
Okay. I'm sure that train never left the station, I suggest. Let's you know what? The U.S. launches retaliatory airstrikes. I'll just read the headlines. Iran issuing chilling warning. You know what? Forget it. We'll do breaking news tomorrow. I'll get to it at some point. Let's go to the body cam footage. Let's get a few police shooting citizen slaves because these people have a bloodlust. So I'll satiate that. Let's see. Officer fatally shoots 19-year-old who refused to turn off the car.
'17's unoccupied. Give me your hands. I got 2 at gunpoint. Get on the ground now, all of you. Get out. I've got a black male running in sweats for the strip ball. Hey, do not move. I will fucking kill you. You understand me?
We saw this one the other day, but some
one
folks might
behind
not
the
have
center. I
seen
got
it.
2 gunpoint in the car. 2 black males, black hoodie, gray sweats.
There's black people in this car. We're gonna kill them.
Black sweats. Running behind the Little Caesars, running east. Stay right there. Shut the car off. Shut the car off now. Shut the car off now. Shut the car off now. Shut the car off now.
Shut it off more.
Stop now. Stop. Do not fucking move. Stop now. Do not move. Do not fucking move. Shots fired. Shots fired. Don't move. Don't fucking move.
Show me your
Don't
hands.
fucking move. All of you. Do not move. Stay in the car. Do not move. Do not move. Stay there. Stay there.
All right. Saw that one the other day. You want another one, Penal Power?
Why not?
All right. Let's see.
Give the people what they want.
Police shoot man who used a wooden stick to hit the officer. This one's long, 17 minutes. I'm gonna have to speed up.
Good shot. You got it, Coach? You got
Wooden
lethal?
stick guy. Oh man, this guy's fucking riled up.
Let's just start with that.
We're gonna show him some safety real quick.
Why didn't you stop for the lights and sirens, man? Hey, come on, come on. Hey, dude, don't do this.
Dude.
Don't do this.
Dude, put the stick down. Officer safety.
You got lethal?
That's a big stick too. You guys got lethal? We're gonna kill this fucking guy or what?
Hey, come on, man.
Nothing. You're not. You're ready for the foul.
Hey, just talk to me, man. Talk to me. Well, we kind of had to follow you, man. And also, you're miles out in the desert. You got a long walk back home, dude. So what do you need? You walk. We are relaxed. We are relaxed. Everybody's relaxed. Everybody's relaxed. Hey.
Like, we just got lights and sirens, ran up on you with guns drawn. We're totally relaxed. This is our relaxed state. And then he admits you're miles out into the desert. Like, so he just proves you can go miles out into the desert where there's nobody, and somehow they'll roll up on you because you have a stick, and then tell you they're really loving, relaxed people. They're just there to help.
Yeah. He's got a stick on him.
Got a stick.
All right.
Hey, stop right there.
Stop, man.
Stop it.
Stop.
Let it go.
Dude, put it down. Hey, 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 hey.
You okay? Yeah. You okay? You okay?
Fucking
You
hell.
You okay?
Drop it now! Drop it! I got it.
Stop right there. Hey, man.
I call it in. I'm calling.
Get it home.
Let me call it in. Let me call it in.
That's fired. That's fired.
Go shot. You got it called in? Oh my god, dude. Fuck. Fuck.
Go from.
Do you want this to happen, man? I'm fucking trying to talk to you, man. What the fuck?
Hey, calm down. Calm down.
Relax. Stop. God damn it.
I try to talk to you.
Hey, no, get him into recovery position. Get him into recovery position. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay.
Fuck.
Stand by. Hey, you okay? Stand by.
And this is what we always find with these videos is they're not aware of what they're doing when they're doing it. And right after they go, oh my God, I totally tried to be your friend there. I don't know what went wrong. It's like Talcott if he was a policeman. Like he just unloads on you from three sides. And then they're all like, oh my God, we love you. We don't know why that just happened. It's like you didn't actually try to talk to him. You weren't relaxed. You guys ran up on the guy. He could be going through anything. He had a stick. You went into complete fear mode and gunned him down because he swung it at the guy. You know, and then you're like, oh my God. And you're more interested in the fact that now you got to live with the fact that you just killed somebody. That's what you're crying and worried about. You don't even give a fuck about this guy and his life and family. Let's be real about it. You know, they just realize in that moment, oh my God, I just shot someone. There you go. Tal cops. My father finally said something funny and humorous after he's on a 6-month run. Every 6 months, he says something funny and entertaining. So we'll look for him in another 6 months because he'll have something again that was mildly amusing. I like that. Tal cops. Get on the ground, brother. I don't know why that just happened. Yeah, you know, you should be highly aware of when you got the gun drawn that you're going to kill someone on the other end of it. There's no coming back from that. You might want to train for that.
Hey, so I'm noticing this. Thunder Chicken just joined the panel, and for the second time in a row, it doesn't show him. I have to click on the StreamYard. It has a play button, like there's a video playing. For me to be able to see him.
I was going to do that to hear somebody.
Oh my God, penile power. I tried talking to you. I don't know why I just fucking threw you out like that. Oh my God, that was so horrific.
I got to a...
Go ahead, man. Give me some final words. I got to get out of here. I didn't even hit the breaking news. I don't know what just happened for the last 3 hours and 40 minutes. That must mean we got to something. We must have did something. I got caught up. I got pulled in. That's where I find the most value is for me. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah. I don't know. I just came up to clarify anything. I guess it was foolish to bring this up. I already have my heart set. I know what I'm doing. I know what's right for me. I don't know. I just like to bounce it off people that I think have a good intellect.
No, yeah, I get that you're basically saying that you're conferring with me because you respect me, or at least my perspective. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, if you respect me for a leader, well, then you understand I'm leading folks back to their true self. So the tendency being that at this point in my life, pretty much at most times, for good or bad, if you want to look at it that way, I pretty much do what is apparent to me and what makes sense to me, you know, and I kind of learned to trust that and surrender to it. Sometimes I'll get it right. Sometimes maybe not so much. And then you have to look at what is right? Because you could argue there's something going on bigger than us, and we're always kind of getting what we need, even if it's in the last place that we would suspect. So if you feel aligned with something, you feel convicted with something, you see value in it, I would just move into it, man. I would tell that for anybody because that's the same way I live. You know, I don't really bounce my ideas off anybody too much. If I do, like you said, I'm just doing it to hear back what the fuck I already seem to know at that point. You know?
Yeah, and it's kind of reaffirming. You know, I gotta get out of my comfort zone. I've gotten too comfortable being uncomfortable. I need to shake things up. It's good for me.
Right. Well,
and,
again, I think the main thing is understanding this difference between legal and lawful. If that's what you're doing,
Yeah.
and applying that understanding and making the delineation between you understanding you may have things to work on as a being, but that has nothing to do with their system.
From
You
what I
know, their
understand,
idea.
and this is one thing I have to clear this up. I have not I haven't done the American national process. I haven't reclassified my status. I haven't corrected the record. I've been studying it for 2 years, and I have to clear up my citizen straw man before I can do that. I have a debt with the U.S. corporation, from what I understand, and I have to go settle this debt.
I don't necessarily accept any of that. There's no full disclosure there. There's no liability or obligation that's been knowingly and willfully taken on. That's an understanding somebody else gave you. If I ask the average person without the overlay of what they believe, what do they know and not know, and what are their true obligations, they don't know, and they don't really have any obligations. They're just doing what other people tell them they're doing or what they should be doing. So I don't accept that. My status was never changed, right? If you did change my status, it was on paper because you wanted to play games with the creation and what natural law is. So my
It's a
status was
paperwork
never
game.
changed, so therefore it doesn't have to be changed back. The record has to be corrected. What better way and date and time than do it at court or anywhere else where there's agents of the corporation? So that can be done any place and time. It has to be done seemingly over and over again. You're not just going to do paperwork and undo everyone else's choices and beliefs that they've moved into. Right. So you could have all that and then some and still wind up in the same place because we're living in a world with other people who've chosen to believe and act on their beliefs. And we're subject to that on some level. So again, I don't accept the binding or the latching or the codependency. I don't accept their fraudulent claims. I don't accept their beliefs. And the paperwork is just an aspect of self. If I know who and what I am and what I'm not and how to move that, the paperwork is secondary. And they can make presumptions and assumptions all day until I rebut it directly, which I have no problem doing.
And yeah, working toward it.
All right, give me the final word. I'm out of here.
Much love. See y'all later.
All right. We'll see you later, Thunder Chicken. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, my bad. I was kind of multitasking while you guys were getting in on it. But I enjoyed the conversation, enjoyed the stream, as always. And much love, brothers and sisters. I don't give a fuck if you love me back or not. Gonna love you regardless. And we stand with Ukraine and Israel and all the things. So that was my whiz-caught unslaved impression.
What does this mean? I can tweak live chat settings. Some creators have quite the extensive list of what? What does that mean? I don't have. Okay, you know what?
Maybe they're trying to give you some tip. I don't know.
Yeah, some
I have
tip,
no
right?
idea.
Hey, you can tweak your live chat settings like other creators. You know, for what? To do what? An extensive list of what? Why can they never finish the subject predicate portion of the sentence?
Well, I do want to ask if you ever thought of, or if you already have taken any short of them, and by them I mean this platform that we're using, clearly openly taking away views and such. I have a couple shorts of it myself that I haven't uploaded or anything yet, but not that I'm afraid of the repercussions. I just haven't done it. But
hold on a second. Why would I have a list of censored words that I would tweak? Why would I do that?
What?
This person is a bum, of course. I see why they're aptly named. Why would I choose a list of words that would be censored from the chat when I'm promoting as much as possible lack of censorship and self-governance and or collective bargaining or agreements?
I mean, there are censored words, but it's from the platform. It's the platform doing it. It's the platform that we're on. So I don't know if this person thinks you're doing it or if they don't realize it's the platform.
Where has anybody been censored? I've never seen anybody's words be censored in this chat. People can say whatever they want.
Well, all the time I'm typing stuff in the chat and the messages don't pop up. When I refresh it, it's clearly gone. So it's the platform, hiding the comments, certain comments.
Okay.
Like yesterday, I tried 5 different ways to type one stupid comment. Well, it wasn't stupid, whatever. It's just that Pearl Harbor happened on December 7th.
Why does nobody else seem to have any of these problems? I see a whole list of folks down there who are here every day. They say whatever they want, all types of language and cursing and all the rest,
Well,
and they're never censored.
You'd be surprised how many comments are probably not going through. I bet at least a small percentage of the total live chat is being hidden. At least.
So basically, you're telling me this is just more evidence of the fact that they give me no notice that many of my chatters may not be shown, which doesn't surprise me because I've seen live counter on my end never go over 150. Others tell me it goes to 600, and I never see that showing up in chat. Now, I'm aware a large portion of viewers don't chat, but some of it doesn't add up. So again, big surprise. YouTube is censoring and impeding and interfering. We know that. But with that said, I never seem to see any lack of all types of language in this chat. So okay. I guess, you know what? My mistake. I'll own it. That person was right, apparently. Sean and the others have confirmed it. Now, when I'm done here, I'll go into live chat settings and I will search for where that maybe is a setting. But don't be surprised if I've already done that and don't censor anything and they're doing it. Okay? Because that's the game here. I can have everything open and unlocked. They're going to play their games for whatever reason.
Yeah. When this stream's over, which you're about to end it, you'll go to see the total live views. If you go to your analytics, I don't know if you do this. I didn't really mess with analytics and all that shit until more recently, but you'll see it's got, say, 777 views. And then you reload the page on the YouTube browser side, like as if you're just accessing.
All right, I got to go. I haven't eaten yet today.
400 views.
I have to go.
You could take a 60-second short of it.
All right, I'll see you later. I haven't eaten yet today. I'm ravenous. I'm not going to drag this out and continue it. I see Joshua back there. I appreciate you, Joshua, but I'm not bringing you up. I need to go. Okay, make it quick, please. I'll bring you up. Okay.
You didn't even have to bring me up. Thanks
I
for
can't stand back there looking at me like that. It just, I don't know, it does something. Please help me out.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing me up. I won't even keep you up. Appreciate everybody for being here for the stream on my channel, your channel, whoever's channel. Just appreciate folks showing up. So,
thank you, Joshua, and I appreciate you restreaming, and your audience has been, for the most part, very honorable. There's a few, usual, predictable folks who they got some resistance to me, but we'll work with that, right? Over time, I'm sure that they'll come around.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part about this, is that it gives everybody the opportunity to come back and, figure it out. So,
all right, I'm throwing you out. I'm moving on. I need a salad right now with some feta cheese in it and some croutons, the whole deal. That's what's going to happen. Here's the deal. This is what's happening. I just told you. All right. I'll be back tomorrow, 12 to 2 MDT, somewhere in that region. I appreciate the folks who contribute and support regularly, various forms of value. You are a blessing to I and this broadcast because it motivates me, inspires me, lets me know that I'm bringing value. So I think that does something for me and the broadcast overall. All right. I'm out of here. I've said enough. Mazel tov to all of you. Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Unslaved one out.